fine.
No. That should be a reward tier, right? We should meet.
It'll be like high school
blinding.
musical, except it'll be about playing
That's
video
fine.
games.
Thanks.
Right?
There is a
All right,
lot
well-
of talking, and it's not all related to each other, and I'm
Gentlemen,
very confused.
We're going to try this. If it goes horribly wrong, it goes horribly wrong. But this is what we're trying tonight. So let's see how it works.
It wouldn't be Infendo Radio. Yeah, it wouldn't be Infendo Radio if it didn't go horribly wrong.
Who's that?
Hi, live listeners. We've got 2 so far. Hello.
Well, I'm probably one of them.
Hi, lovelies. What the hell are you doing with messing with my metrics, Steve?
I'm in the chat.
Yep.
Doesn't that count?
God, Steve.
Yeah, doesn't it count if I'm in the chat?
I don't know, actually.
Well, there you go. Figure this shit out, Mr. Metrics. I'm gonna get blocked again. I can feel it.
Already happened once tonight. Might happen again.
No shit. Well, I got muted tonight too by somebody else. All right.
Hello. Well, we've arrived, gentlemen. So we're gonna, I guess we're kind of talking real quick before we actually go live, since we're going to be talking roundtable. We already kind of discussed that, right? So does anybody want to take the lead? Otherwise, I was just going to kind of roll with the first bit and then let whoever else wants to go next and so on and so forth.
Go for it.
Cool.
I'm not a leader.
Works.
I'm a follower.
Then
I'm not even a follower. I'm just here.
I'll take that too, Justin. Let me get my timer ready. We're just going to use... Hello, Minus. How art thou? I hear somebody's iPhone making noises.
Yeah. I'm asking my friend about the software that I need.
There. Well, I guess here comes Showtime. Might want to mute that. It is HQ time, guys, by the way. I don't know if anybody knew, but it's happening. Steve's about ready to give us our questions.
All
All right.
turn my recording on.
Yeah, I was just saying, is everybody recording?
Yep.
I am now.
Awesome. Oh, God. Steve, you're giving me away.
I'm so confused. Is Steve
Oh, no,
in
this
that?
is Scott.
Is Steve in
Sorry,
that game?
I got him confused. This is Scott.
Don't call me Scott, Eugene. I am not okay with that. I hate when people call me Scott or Dave or whatever the fuck else they want to call me.
Hey, Dave,
I'm
you want to
Steve.
chill out so we can do the show?
No, I would not. I would like to be ornery and cranky tonight. Is that okay with you? Good.
No, it's not Scott, so maybe just take it down,
Oh.
chill pill.
Look, Beverly, let's just get this going.
Is everybody recording?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I don't know about everybody. I am.
Awesome. Well, then, yeah, we'll just roll into the show. We'll talk about the giveaway for the month. Lucas, I don't know if you have those ready for. If you don't worry about it. I will just talk about them and then we'll move on. It's fine. Okay, let's sync up and then we'll get rolling. You guys ready? In 3, 2, 1. All right, Justin, hit me with your numbers.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't looking. 130.
We're off to a grand start.
Lucas, hit me with your numbers.
452.
452. And we have Steve at 421. Great. All right. Well, let's get rolling. We're already a little bit late, so we might as well just hit it hard, y'all. I guess there are no show notes. Well, that's what we needed to get. That's like the gong. That's the let's get fucking going gong. I tell you what, without the first of your mom joke, we can't get Infendo Radio started. Let me make a note of my show notes. Show start. All right, let's do it. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Infendo Radio. This is episode 437. It is the 11th day of April. And I have three co-hosts sitting in front of me. How are you guys doing this evening? Steve, you are looking fine tonight.
Are we really in front of you? I mean, I need to know what direction you're facing if we're going to go this route.
You're actually...
I mean, if you're facing, like, if you're facing northwest and I'm facing southeast, I might actually...
Oh, my God.
Where is this going? I didn't know where it was going, but if I knew where it was going, I would have taken it somewhere else and we would have gone there.
You started it, actually.
Justin, how are you doing tonight?
I got nothing to follow that. I am the
What direction are you facing?
I can finally breathe. I spent the whole weekend with a sinus infection, so that was fun. And then my face swelled up. I think I shared a picture with you guys. So it's good to have eyelids again.
Yep. Yeah, you've had a lot of symptoms, I guess, this last week. So I'm glad you're coming out of them. But last but not least, Lucas, you're looking a little different tonight.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what that's about.
He's got the whole two-face thing going. He's like...
I am in front of you, Eugene. I spent the entire week without a sinus infection. My face was not swollen. Everything's cool.
I like that. Hey, I'll take it. I will take that. So yeah, before we get started, we are going to run the show a little bit different tonight. We're going to start with a roundtable. So we got a cool topic to talk about here after a minute. But before we get there, we would like to talk to you about our Patreon contest. So if you join our Patreon for $1 or more, then you get entered to win 3 amiibos, and it's actually really cool. So just join in and then you can join in at any level, but the $1 will get you that entry. But yeah, maybe join in at the $4 level, and then you can submit some choices for the Nintendo's. So yeah, we have a lot of cool tiers that you can join in on. All right, but with that said, I don't know if this is going to make it to the Purdue Show people, but we're actually running a $10 retweet giveaway as well. So if you're listening to us live or anytime before Friday, just go on to our Twitter on @Infendo and retweet that post, and then you and follow us, and you are entered for a chance to win. All right, so that's enough pre-plugging. Let's get to the post pre-plugging. Okay, anyways, I don't know where I'm going with this, but we are going to start our roundtable discussion. And I guess I'm starting first, so I might as well tell you what we are roundtabling about. I guess it's worth saying that, kind of spoiler alert, because we are going to be talking about Breath of the Wild today. And I think it's fair to say that we're probably going to be getting into spoiler territory. So if you...
are the one Switch owner who doesn't own Breath of the Wild and hasn't played it to completion yet.
Or Wii U, because there are some Wii U owners out there, including one of our own.
That's fair. That's
not
fair.
me.
I'm just saying. Obviously, spoiler alert. But like, if you haven't played it yet, play it. Play it.
It's been a year. And I mean, I'm always one for definitely giving spoiler alerts and not being spoilery, rudely, inconsiderately. But yeah, it's been a year, and that's kind of why we're talking about this. We haven't said what we're talking about, but if you haven't figured it out by now, we're gonna have a little roundtable retrospective on The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. The game came out a year and a month ago. Probably about this time last year was when most people were either just finishing it or just really getting into it, depending on how you played the game. We had our last batch of DLC just a few months ago, and all of us have played through all of that. And some of us are still playing the game. In fact, Lucas, I know you've played it through at least twice since you finished it the first time.
I've played it through at least 3 times, and I'm actually going back through my Master Quest playthrough again right now for completion. So,
all right, Eugene, I know I've seen you popping on the Switch playing some Breath of the Wild past couple weeks.
Yep.
Steve, I don't know what you do. You just play Splatoon and
yeah, I
indie
just
games.
play Splatoon and Rocket League in any game. I did actually play through the end of the DLC. I don't have all the DLC armor yet. I still need to go back and do that. But I have actually completed the story section of the DLC.
Right.
Sure. Well, so with that said, I guess, Justin, do you want to be our first person to lead us into our roundtable discussion, and then we'll give you the floor here?
Sure. What's our timer set at, so I know how much I have to vamp?
5 minutes. I'll give you a 1-minute warning. How's that?
I might not need that much. Feel free to interject, because otherwise I'm just gonna either ramble or have no idea what to say.
Hey, ramble, and then we'll each take our turns afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, it amazes me that I'm still playing this game. I mean, it shouldn't, because I really get hooked onto open world games, but generally once I finish the story, I'm kind of done with it. And even though I reach points where I'm like, well, there's nothing left to do here. I've filled in the whole map. I've found all the costume, all the outfits, and I've done all the DLC except Trial of the Sword. I still haven't done the second and third sets of trials yet. Every time I start the second, I fail miserably. So there's still something for me to do. But I'll just be sitting doing something, and suddenly I'll just get an image of an area in the game, or something that I haven't done in a long time, and just like flashes of memories, and they actually feel like memories. They don't just feel like gameplay to me. It feels like this is a thing that I did. This is a place that I went, and get the urge to want to go back to it. And so every night my fiance will fall asleep on the couch after we watch some TV shows, and I'll sit up and play games for a couple of hours. And lately I've been playing Breath of the Wild again, and I'll play it. I'll just play. I'll just play for a few minutes. I don't even know why I'm playing it, but I don't know what else to play. And an hour and a half later, I'll be like, I'm still playing this game. I still have about 500 Korok seeds left to find. I think actually probably 550. So, there's still stuff for me to do, but yeah, I mean, this game really grabbed me, and just everything just feels so fine-tuned. And as somebody who loves open world games, I've played a lot of Grand Theft Auto. I played all through Red Dead Redemption. You guys got me hooked on Skyrim, so there's that going for me. But there's just something very unique and satisfying about Breath of the Wild, and it's not without its flaws, and we'll get into those, I'm sure, later, because I can see Lucas champing at the bit here, our resident Breath of the Wild hater.
Oh no, here it is. Here we go.
No, I gotta tease him, because he's probably the most negative among us, but I think even he will admit, having played the game 3 times, that there's still something redeemable about the game.
No, I'm going to get all into that when I have my moment. But yeah, the most negative among us in regards to the game, and the one who's probably easily put the most time into it.
Exactly. I crossed the 200-hour mark about a month ago and didn't even realize that I can't go back to my first steps on the map screen.
Oh God,
which is sad for me. I miss being able to see all those little deaths one right after another.
I'm willing to bet that Lucas has put more time into the game. If he was to add up both accounts and all of his playthroughs, I'm willing to bet he's I
gave your mom a little death.
Oh God. I'm willing to bet that Lucas has put more time into this game than me, Eugene, and probably you put together, Justin.
I want to estimate that it's around 400 hours altogether, throughout all the playthroughs. I don't know if that's true or not. But
I'm 185.
Were you done, Justin? Because I don't want to.
I can open up the floor. I'll just interject when something pops in my head. So whoever wants to take over.
Yeah, I'll take
know-
it because
I know there's a your mom joke there, Justin.
Oh, I mean the only thing I want to say, and then I'll pass the torch, is something that I really wanted to say when we talked about it months ago. I think it was before the DLC started coming out, or maybe after the first one when we all did our little round table back then. One of the vivid memories I have of the game that made me just realize how expertly crafted it was. I don't remember where I was. I was just kind of out in Hyrule Field, as one would tend to be in that game. And I remember a shadow going overhead. And it just suddenly got dark, and I'm like, well, what the heck is that? And I look, and a bird had flown in front of the sun. And I thought, how amazingly detailed and again, expertly crafted this world is, that just something drifting in front of the sun will cast a perfect shadow on the ground, just like real. It's just that immersiveness that really hooks me to that game. But anyway, whoever wants to take over.
I got this.
Okay.
Because after Justin's flowery thing, let me get all my evil, spite-filled hate stuff out of the way. No, I actually really like this game, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have played it as much as I did. I stand by what I said when we first gave our critiques of it. Anybody who's a longtime listener will know my feelings on it at this point. It is probably one of my least favorite Zelda games, just based off of what it gives me as a Zelda game. That said, it's probably my favorite open world game. And
sorry for interjecting.
No, it's fine. When I go about playing it without the expectation of Zelda, I get a lot more out of it. Go ahead.
Sorry, but I was actually thinking this before the show even started. I have a feeling that if this were the Elder Scrolls, Hyrule Edition or something, or if it were called, or if it were, Miyamoto and Eiji Aonuma present a brand new open world franchise, you probably would be all over this,
chomping at the bit. Yeah, exactly. Because the things that I don't like about the game are all related to past Zelda titles. Things like not having well-defined or immersive dungeons with items that you unlock after the fact that give you access to new areas, not having as memorable characters or soundtracks, things like that. Those Zelda staples that I've come to expect. Even the story, which was admittedly pretty weak for, a Zelda plot. But the things that I really like about the game are kind of everything that you've talked about, that being able to just kind of walk into it and put yourself in a world and explore the world. And now that I've played the game for the umpteenth time, those 4 playthroughs that I've gone through, those are just the playthroughs where I've actually played the game from start to finish. I've started the game a crap ton of times because I enjoy Zelda games. I enjoy going through the story and stuff. So I'll go through and I'll just do the Divine Beasts and I'll try to finish the game. But now that I'm just kind of playing it to wonder, and now that I really don't care as much about the narrative or the plot or the characters or anything, I'm enjoying it a lot more than I did my first time in, because all that stuff that's kind of lacking for me personally isn't a factor when you're just wandering and exploring and, seeing what there is to see and do. I will say along that vein, I was talking to Eugene about this before the show started. One thing that amazed and irritated me tonight all at the same time was I just found a new minigame. For me, it's new. I'm sure you guys have probably encountered it already. But that amazes me that I'm a year into this game and I'm still finding things I've never seen before.
Oh, me too.
It's the bowling minigame.
Oh my God, that's so fun.
I just found it. And I'm like, holy crap, that's the thing. But then right after that moment of wow and wonder, I was thinking if this was any other Zelda game, I'd be getting a good reward for this, like a heart container or a quiver or some thing that would, enhance my character and my gameplay. But instead I get 100 or 300 rupees for beating the mini game. It's that little irking moment that always gets to me, because Twilight Princess was full of stupid little mini games that you had to play once to get a piece of a heart. And that always felt kind of cool to me because it's like, okay, well, I have to do this in my playthrough to like hit 100%. But all the mini games in this game just kind of exist as an experience. And that's both incredibly natural to like what the game is trying to be, which is more of an experience than like a traditional Legend of Zelda game. But also for me, for somebody who's kind of looking for a more traditional experience, kind of lacking, and something that I hope they kind of balance out the next time they do a game like this, because there definitely will be another Breath of the Wild style game out there. I just hope it incorporates a little bit more Zelda for me. I'd like to cut grass and maybe find a rupee or two. I'd like to maybe have dungeons back again. You know, there's elements that I miss. I didn't really like getting like all of my little novelties right at the beginning and just having access to bombs and freezing abilities and time stopping and stuff. Would have been kind of cool for me to get one of those in each game. But unfortunately, that's kind of the nature of Breath of the Wild. You know, everything is available to you all at once. And that's both amazing and kind of genre breaking, you know? But yeah, that's kind of my long and short of it. It's a very mixed experience for me. We kid a lot about me hating the game, and I think I probably have the most negative to say out of anybody, but it comes from a place of love, and it comes from the fact that really the Zelda series has always been my favorite series. So I think I'm just a little bit more persnickety about the things that I miss out on and the things that I really like. But I like this game a lot. I wouldn't be playing it like at this moment if I didn't like it. And as soon as I stop talking, I'm going to run into my room and get my Switch so I can continue playing while we're doing the show. With that said, would anybody else like to give their opinions?
Oh, look at that. That's timing right there, Lucas.
I know. What can I say? Just call me the hero of time.
Morning.
Eugene, I'll go next if you don't mind. Or do you want to go?
That's got to be my new alarm,
Go ahead, bro.
by the way.
I know, actually. God, that's a good idea. I want to wake up to that every morning.
Would not wake me up.
Well, anyway. So Breath of the Wild, something interesting happened. I was hanging out with Lucas one night, and he's playing Breath of the Wild, and I know that especially Justin gives that soundtrack so much shit, right?
I love the soundtrack.
I know you
I'm the one that I'm the one that gives
so
it shit, Steve. Just
okay, so it's you,
Lucas.
Okay, so you give the soundtrack shit. I'm calling you out then.
Go for it. No, I've been listening to the soundtrack this week. I know what you're going to say.
How many? I know there's not as many themes as there are in other Zelda games, but how many times did I say, oh my gosh, that theme brings back so many memories?
Yeah.
Like, especially when you were wandering around Hyrule Castle the one night. I love that version of the theme. And I think we have one on our Google Drive that Justin remixed that is, and it's some sort of a cross between Hyrule theme. What's in that mix, Justin? It's amazing.
There are essentially three or four versions of that theme, depending on how you want to look at it. There is the very fully orchestral, bombastic version that plays when you're outside, where all the guardians are. And then there's the more quieter, subdued version that plays mostly on organs and strings and flutes and stuff like that plays inside the castle. And then whenever you're near an enemy, whether you're inside or outside, there's this driving drums in 5/4 time that goes along with it. And so I did a mix that kind of builds up to like the most there possibly can be. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, and that mix is amazing. We need to share that. But what happened, and the point I was getting to, is hearing that theme. I have not played Breath of the Wild in some time. In fact, the last time I played it was probably 2 or 3 days after the final DLC came out. But listening to Lucas play that game has made me want to go back and do the Terrytown quest, which I still have not done.
Speaking of great music.
And I know I'm a sinner for not doing that. But
it's like the only story in the game, and you haven't done it.
Well, I haven't done it because I completely missed it. I put 185 hours into the game, and I did not see that side quest, kind of like you missed the bowling. But I've decided that at some point in the near future, what I want to do is I want to do that side quest but I want to do it alongside my 20 Heart Wolflink amiibo that I worked so hard to get in Twilight Princess. Like, I know that with the amiibo hackaroo device I've got that you can fake that, but I actually went through and I did all that in Twilight Princess before Breath of the Wild came out, just so I could do that. And then I never did it the entire 185 hours I played that game. But the thing about that game that just amazes me, kind of like you guys have said, I've put 185 hours into that game over the course of a year, and there's still stuff I want to do. I still want to go back and play that game. The only other game that has that kind of a pull with me is Minecraft. I mean, I love Splatoon, I love Mario Kart, but beyond Breath of the Wild and Minecraft, I cannot think of two other games where I would willingly invest more than 150 hours into that game. I'm sure I'll get that way with Skyrim once I start playing it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have some extra time in the next couple months to do that, which I'm excited about. But yeah, I mean, I just am amazed at how much they put into that game.
Well, and that's really the nature of the beast. I'm sorry, I'm probably eating into your time here.
It's the nature of the divine beast.
Oh,
God,
no.
do it. I'm just waiting for that window.
But that's kind of the whole point of a game like this, is it doesn't feel like as much of a chore because it's such a massive game. In the same vein as Skyrim, albeit a smaller game than Breath of the Wild, but you put like 100 hours into it and it's like, oh, hey, I beat the story. You know, like that's the kind of game it is. It's not like if this was Ocarina of Time, you wouldn't want to put 100 hours into it, even if there was a lot of stuff to do, because the entire game takes like 20 hours to beat if you're going at a slow clip.
Yeah,
Breath of the Wild is just massive.
One of my biggest complaints about the last two console Zeldas, Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword, was I felt like they were too long. Like my first playthrough on both of them was like 50 or so hours. And I'm like, it's just too long for me. And here I am spending over 200 hours in Breath of the Wild.
So there's one more thing I wanted to say about Breath of the Wild. I do have
one of your minutes.
No, you're fine. I do have one particular memory that really stands out. One of the things I did was I had to farm for dragon parts to get some of my armor upgraded, and I still need to work on some of that. But one of the dragons you can find if you warp to like dawn or something like that, and you're on a particular tower, and right as the sun rises, the dragon rises from the water along Lake Hyrule or Hylia or whatever that lake is.
Yeah.
The glide down from that tower to where the dragon is coming out of that island at sunrise is absolutely stunning.
There's a better place to farm that dragon, by the way.
Screw you and your beautiful memories.
Yeah, it is absolutely stunning. I saw it one of the first times. I was doing it on handheld mode, so I was doing it while I was watching TV with my wife. But I did it on the TV, and even though it looks good on the handheld mode, it is amazing when you're watching it in full HD. So if you haven't done that, you ought to just go do that, just so you can see that one area, because it is awesome to see.
Yeah. Eugene, before I start interrupting Steve again.
I'll give it a minute and a half. So I also obviously really like Breath of the Wild as well. But so obviously we've had a whole year to kind of brood on it and kind of think about how this game, I guess for lack of better terms, makes us feel or whatever. But so I've kind of gathered my thoughts since we decided to make this roundtable, 70, not what it was 7 hours ago, even however long we decided to come up with this. But I came up with a little list.
Slow news
so
week.
I honestly think that one of the best things about Breath of the Wild is that each player's journey, it's entirely unique. I remember when we first got the game, the first week, all of us except for Lucas, he went into the other room and took his headphones off. But all the rest of us, we were all talking about our first week's experience, and each of us had a unique experience. I remember Some of you guys went right to Kakariko Village right away. Some of us went to, I went to the desert. I remember that Mike, he didn't even freaking find the person who like upgrades your pouch. So he was running around with like 3 items for like the whole game, So like that was everybody.
And then you went through the whole game without upgrading any of your gear because you didn't know how to do that.
Well, not that I didn't know how,
out.
I just didn't really care much. But yeah, exactly. But that's kind of my point, right? Like everybody can play that game and play it differently, and obviously, in my opinion, have a really great time doing it. I think that one of the great things about Breath of the Wild is that and I think this is why I feel that it moves the entire games medium forward. I know that's kind of maybe superlative, but there's no longer any more obtuse game logic, right? So like it's not like Resident Evil where you have to find the crow key to put in the crow door that unlocks the spade freaking chest or whatever, that's not a thing anymore. Like if you need, if there's electricity,
you gotta pay the troll toll to get into the boys' hole.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can, like, the logic makes sense, right? It's not like necessarily video game logic. It's like real world logic. So like fire spreads like fire would spread, so I think that's kind of one of the biggest strengths about Breath of the Wild. Like people can come to the game, like video game veterans or people who have never played video games before at all, come to Breath of the Wild, have wildly different experiences and all kind of enjoy themselves all the same way. Like I don't know if I've talked about this on the show, but I have a buddy who has a few kids, and he got them a Switch, he got a Breath of the Wild. They've been playing it for literally a whole year. They just beat it like a month ago, but like his kid has all these wild experiences. He's a 7-year-old, and he probably spent, gosh, if I looked at that play clock, it would probably be close to 1,000 hours, knowing how much that kid plays that thing. That Switch is attached to his hip, but again, like it just like makes sense. I watch him play, and he's like, oh, okay, I need fire, so I'm gonna go get fire from this torch, and then I'm gonna light the grass on fire because I don't want to burn myself, so I'm gonna run away. And like he just has all this weird logic that he follows, but it works. So I think that's definitely one of Zelda's strengths. And then lastly, before my time runs out, I think and we've talked about this as well, but like the way that Nintendo laid out the world so that anywhere that you look, so you can be basically anywhere on that globe. It's not really a globe, anywhere on that map at any given point, and look in a certain direction or whatever, and then you'll see off in the distance something, but you'll also see something like kind of close by, and then it's all designed that way. Nintendo made it so that was a thing, and it really makes a difference. Like you'll see way off in the distance an orange tower, and then that might be where you decide to set your destination, right, to unlock that map. But along the way, you might find some side quests. You might find that bowling quest that Lucas just found 500 hours into the game, and then you stop and do that for a while. Like I don't know. I've never been so engrossed in an experience for a long time. I have to say that, like after Breath of the Wild, maybe that's probably why I've been in a gaming funk for the last little bit, because I just don't really want to play anything. Breath of the Wild kind of got me. So I don't know. I only have 10 seconds left, so I'm going to stop the timer. But I'm going to open up the round table to the floor to group discussion. And then, yeah, so what do we all think kind of collectively about this, like a year after?
You reminded me when you were talking about your friends' kids. My 7-year-old discovered Breath of the Wild, noticed the icon on the thing. Never played a Zelda game before. I mean, he may have played a little bit of like Wind Waker and not really fully understood it or whatever, but he just started playing it one day, and he must have spent 10-15 hours on the Great Plateau alone before he even learned that there were places to go and things to do, and you could eventually get off of it and all that. And just he was having the time of his life, and just watching him like try to take on these challenges, and I'm just amazed. Again, he's 7 years old. He's never really played any serious games. I mean, he plays Minecraft, and he plays like mini game collections and Lego games, and your typical 5, 6, 7-year-old games, Skylanders, stuff like that.
Casual stuff.
Yeah. And he's going into these shrines and he's figuring out how they work and getting through them. He's figuring out how to I have seen him get charged by a Lionel and do the thing with the shield, the deflection with the shield, like you would do with a guardian beam.
Yeah.
Hit and do a parry on the Lionel, and the Lionel just goes back and collapses. I'm like, I've never seen that done before. I've never done that before. How did you do that? And like out all of the because usually he'll ask me for help in a Zelda game and say, how do I do this? And I'll look at him like, yeah, like, I have no idea where you are, how you got there, what you've done, what you have. Like, I cannot help you through this because I don't know the path you took to get there. I'm like, it looks like you have to do this or that. So most of the stuff he figured out by himself, and it just amazes me how not only, like you said, Eugene, everybody has a completely different play experience. Everybody figures things out their own way, makes their own path. If they miss something important, like I don't think he's upgraded anything, but he's beaten the game. So, and he did that almost entirely by himself. And it amazes me that this game that, the five of us and the five of us spent months like talking back and forth. Hey, how do you do this? Hey, I found this thing. Does anybody know what we're all like 30-ish, give or take 5 years.
This is like
I said give or take 5 years. We're all adults, and we're banging our heads against the wall on some of this stuff. And here's my 7-year-old who's just saying, I'm just gonna figure this out or die trying. And the fact that he could beat the game while those of us who've been playing games for 20, 30 years we're still having trouble with it just amazes me at the malleability of the game system.
Okay, so Lukey wants to talk now because now I have more thoughts, and unfortunately, it's more negativity from Lucas. So just deal with the viscosity, I guess. I don't know. There's things that irked me from like the very beginning with this game, and one of the things that I'm only remembering now that we're all having this conversation is you guys haven't said one negative thing or complaint or thing you would change about this game. And maybe that's just because for you guys, this is like the perfect game. And that's awesome. But there's a part of me that's really jealous that I don't feel that way about this game. Like when we were talking last week on last week's show, and I mentioned that I didn't like the game, and Matt let out that sigh of like shock and horror. Like it's that response that I get to my criticisms of the game and in my opinion, what is lacking of the game, that I'm always amazed. There's almost nobody else out there with that same opinion.
Real quick, I think that all your criticisms are valid, and I think that all of your criticisms would make the game better. But I don't think that they make the game any lesser. Like they didn't make me dislike the game as much as they made you.
Yeah, and that's fine because we all come from a different place and we all had different expectations going in. I will say that I think I wouldn't do it differently if I had to, but I think waiting on the game for a few months like I didn't help, because all I heard for months before I got this game was how it was the best thing ever. And when I finally played it, I think I went into it with a little bit more expectation than I should have. And I tried to taper that, but it was very hard because all I heard was game of the year, 10 out of 10, 100 out of 100, perfect game. And I played it and I was like, I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like this. I don't like that. And in the beginning, I had to center, because in the beginning, I was way more negative on it than I am now. And that was as kind of like, I think, a counterpoint to everything I had seen and heard. But to this day, it amazes me that like I never hear anyone, not even just you guys, just like the world in general. I almost never hear anyone say a bad word about this game. So every now and then when I do hear something negative, it realigns me and it makes me think like, oh, thank God I'm not the only one. In the same way that like when I played Other M, I told this story. I played it to completion. I didn't see anything about it online. I was like, this is the best Metroid I've ever played. And then I went on and people were giving it like 3 out of 10s and whining about the story and complaining about the gameplay. And I'm like, how can I be this different from everyone? Like it's a jarring thing. It's very unusual. It's an experience you got to experience to understand. It's bizarre.
I've heard the same things about Other M from a friend of mine, that if you ignore the story, it's actually a really good Metroid game. But yeah, I have to. I agree with Eugene on this. There are certain Zelda staples that I think, I don't know if they necessarily would have made the game better, but that I missed.
You missed a little?
Yeah, that I missed going into it. But yeah, I don't feel like the game is any worse because of their absence. I went into the game expecting
something entirely
Yeah, I went into
new.
the game like I said, I played Red Dead Redemption. It's an open world game set in the wilderness. We're still doing timers.
Well, and then I'm going to set it again for another minute after you're done, so then we can give Steve his piece.
I just want to say thank you for validating my criticisms, because sometimes I feel like a nut.
Yeah, no, I mean, we tease you, but and I think this is the first time you've actually been able to fully accurately describe what you dislike about it. And I totally get you on that. Like, I miss having the hook shot. I miss having a fully I can't remember his name, but the YouTuber who did the Boss Keys series, what he calls the puzzle box dungeons, where the whole thing, well, I mean, the Divine Beasts are kind of puzzle box dungeons, but that's all you get. Like, you don't get like a sense of place and environment in the dungeons, and all the different designs and all the different music for the I miss a lot of that stuff, and I'm hoping that the next Zelda game will be a hybrid of ideas. But as an open world game, this is up there in easily the top 3, if not number 1 for me.
Totally agree. Wow,
say
that's
something
scary.
Steve, you're up.
So here's where I'm at. Breath of the Wild taught me how to properly enjoy an open world game. The same way that Pokemon taught me how to properly love an RPG.
Cool.
That would be Super Mario RPG for me, but yeah.
Yeah, so, and I don't mean to say that Breath of the Wild is baby's first RPG or something like that. What I mean to say is that it helped me appreciate a series that I have never been able to appreciate before, because they intimidate me because of how I play games. I've said it time and time again how I play games. I play a level, I collect everything in the level, I move on to level 2. I play level 2, I collect everything in it, I move on to level 3. It sucks, but that is the only way I can play games, and you can't do that in open world games. And had I not been able to play a franchise that I was familiar with and experience what an open world RPG was supposed to be like, I wouldn't have even given Skyrim a second shot.
Exactly. Yeah. Breath of the Wild is what got me into Skyrim.
It's the gateway drug. To what Lucas was saying, there are some things I miss about it. I miss a dungeon system where the first dungeon is easy, the last dungeon is hard, but there's a sense of growth throughout the game, or throughout conquering the dungeons. There is a sense of growth in Breath of the Wild, but not in the same way as doing 8 dungeons. The problem with the dungeon system that we were discussing earlier is it's very hard to put that in an open world setting. I might be one of the few that thinks this, but I don't like what they did with the Link Between Worlds, where you could just buy your items outside of the dungeon and use them within a dungeon. I don't know a better way to do it, though, is the problem.
Yeah, they're really kind of trying to find that delicate balance. You can tell, like, they're like, we need to mess with the system, we need to change things around, but we can't change it around too much. And like Link Between Worlds was definitely a let's dip our toes in this open world thing. Breath of the Wild was let's go gung-ho full force into it. And like that middle ground is there somewhere. And
if they can find that middle ground between those two games, I think they will have the perfect Zelda game.
I totally agree.
So that's kind of where I come from with this game.
Before we close this out, do we want to talk about the DLC, the fact that it exists, how we feel about it, or?
I think we're kind of running long at this point. So we probably ought to close it down, but I'm definitely open to doing another Breath of the Wild retrospective at some point. That maybe even focusing in on that DLC.
Fair warning: if we do a Breath of the Wild DLC retrospective, it's just going to be me going, "I hated it" for like 20 minutes. So
maybe we can
work some creativity in there and make it.
Fair. But yeah, so we are going to get moving on. We're going to take a little break here, let Lucas figure out his settings.
Pray for me.
All right.
And we'll be back.
I need like 5 minutes. I need to go grab a drink, put my hot wings on a plate, and see if I'm going to be able to eat these on show because they are harder. They are harder than my head.
You should be eating soy hot wings. They're delicious and soft and chewy.
It's so bad right now.
Sounds awful in every possible way.
Dude, they're so good. Go to the store. Infendo officially sponsors this product. Get yourself some Morningstar soy buffalo chicken patties. It's everything you ever wanted. Morningstar, please sponsor us.
I was going to say, you're saying we're sponsoring them. They should be giving us money.
Why is my friend congratulating me? Oh, because I got a full-time job.
You're echoing, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I don't know who's on that song.
It might be Steve because he's gone.
Maybe Steve, do you have your headset in?
All right, I'm gonna go. Shake the snake.
Oh God! wait, Eugene, check this out. Yoda luda, yoda luda, yoda lady yo.
Why do I feel like I'm on The Price is Right?
That was probably like the least toxic conversation I've ever had about this game, and it felt really good. Like that was like cathartic for me.
Sure. Well, and I think it's good too because we've all had our separate Breath of the Wild conversations, off show and off air, and we kind of all know where we all are at this point. And I think now we can all kind of better articulate our thoughts about the game too. So.
Was that disconnecting?
That next week we're going to be doing a Shadow the Hedgehog retrospective. Jesus Christ.
Yes,
definitely. Get my show notes ready for that.
Oh God.
Shadow the Hedgehog, gem or masterpiece?
Why do I hear myself echoing, by the way?
Was it maybe because my headphones were off and sitting right next to the microphone?
That would have been it, Steven.
Yeah.
Steven.
Oh crap, I forgot to organize these by in my confusion, I forgot to usually I number my playlists so I know what track I'm playing first and second and what game I'm playing first and second. Didn't do that this week. So let me at least organize the games real quick. And then I can worry about playing the tracks.
Well, that's fine.
What I've got.
I'm gonna turn off my video until I'm done eating because I don't need any other screenshots of me eating.
Hey,
Steve, I'm sorry. I'm sorry in advance for the crunching because these are not fresh hot wings.
Oh, God.
Just as long as you eat them on the show as loud as you can.
Well, it'll be on the show, but I can't help how loud they are. I don't think it's going to be too bad. I'll try and keep it away from the mic.
So what you need, Steve, is
a KFC that knows how to cook.
Oh, well, that too. Or to go vegetarian. But in the meantime, you should get one of these microphones. This is the Yeti, I think. It has a mute button right up front. So anytime I'm in a situation where like my cat is meowing at me or something, I can push the button and I mute myself, but it doesn't change like my recording settings or anything. So that's super
As soon
freaking
as
handy.
you moved your microphone, by the way, you got a little dragon-y.
Oh my god. Well, let's see what freaking happens, I guess.
Do you
Why
think
don't
it's
you
this USB
try-
cable, Eugene?
It might be, actually. It very well could be.
Well, should I turn off my thing and turn it back on?
Oh, I wish you could hear yourself.
Yeah, go ahead and just refresh the browser.
All right, how about is it? I'm eating.
Yeah, I can hear it crunching, but it ain't too bad.
Okay.
Is it any better?
Yeah, seems to be.
Mm-hmm.
That is curious, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
It very well could be them. You're right, Steve. It very well could be that USB.
it's possible.
I spent the day troubleshooting cables, so yeah, take that as you will.
Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go with it. If I'm having audio issues, just let me know, and I will reboot my system and whatnot mid Nintendoons. Not my whole system. I'll just come out and come back in. But I'm on my Ethernet right now, so hopefully that'll help a little bit with the whole weight of the situation. And we'll see what
you
happens.
have been fine this whole show on my end. So
Right up until I moved my microphone, and then I got really scratchy. So
Yeah, it was really weird.
Have you
So
been using
what I'll
voice
do-
meter this whole time, Lucas?
yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
that's really weird. So Lucas, what I'll do is I'll just go like that in the chat.
Yeah.
And then that means that you
That
need
will be the signal. What I will do if I see that is I will just pop out and back in real quick at the end of a track. Okay, like at the end of a game.
basically how I
But when you
reset my audio.
When you see that, that means I want you to take off your shirt and do a little jig.
Okay. Do you have one for Kill the Prime Minister?
Yeah, but I can't use that. That takes 2 keys.
Okay.
In the current political climate, we probably shouldn't make jokes about the assassination of political figures.
Okay, it's just the Prime Minister.
Better of Canada. I like him.
As the FBI comes swooping down on all 4 of us.
Well, Lucas, are you ready? Because if you are, I'll let you take it in whenever you're ready, and I'll just mark my show notes accordingly.
I'm as ready as the dragon gods will allow me to be. Let's.
By
Right.
the way, did you see that comment in the chat, the Blue Dragon microphone? I love that.
Yeah, Jay-Z.
Oh God.
Oh, speaking of, I guess I should mute my chat.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
good call.
And I actually only got halfway through numbering these tracks. So let me
Hang
just
on, I
assign them all
gotta find out
arbitrary
my,
numbers real quick.
Phantom
click
says
on
the FBI is too busy with a certain someone else right now. Oh, I love you guys.
And click on Lucas.
Oh, I'm gonna click on Lucas and pose one question to the chat, and then I will be with you guys.
Jay-Z. He's leaving, by the way.
Bye, Jay-Z. Have a good night. We love you.
I'll miss you. Jay-Z, your track is not. Oh, your track is 3rd, by the way. So tune in when you can and listen. It's gonna be great. All right, I'm ready to go when you guys are. So just let me know.
Go.
Everybody good? Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the only show where 4 grown men play Nintendo games all night long. We are Infendo Radio, and tonight we're playing Nintendoons. The way this works is I got music from Nintendo games. These unlucky saps are going to have to try to guess what game it's from. And actually, we have a lot of viewer suggestions because for $2 a month, you get to suggest music for us to play on this show. And we're up to about 7 suggestions this week. So holy crap, that's awesome. Thank you, you guys. I have 11 different games that we are going to be playing music from. I very much just chose which one I'm going to do in what order at random because I came unprepared. We are going to start with a track by the lovely and ever effervescent -64. Let's start with this one. And away we go. Tell me if it's too loud.
Donkey Kong Country 3 Game Boy Advance.
No.
I knew that wasn't that what it is.
Oh, it sounded so much like one of those tracks, so you can't deny it.
No, it did. I had to think about it for half a second.
Why do you have no video?
Because I'm eating.
But thank you for waiting until the show is on to point that out.
I didn't notice.
Did you say that this is minuses?
-64.
So it's most likely an RPG. It is.
Yeah, that sounds like an
definitely-
RPG.
It's most likely an NES title.
Yeah, this sounds like NES.
Is this Diddy Kong Racing DS?
Yes!
Holy shit!
You're fucking kidding.
This is the custom track music from Diddy Kong Racing DS, which
Well,
is the only music that is original to that game, which is why I picked it first.
Well, that explains why it sounded like Donkey Kong, huh, Justin?
Excellently done, sir.
Turn on your mic, your camera, and make sure that you don't have somebody whispering answers behind you. I don't trust you, Steve.
Here's my video, maybe.
Steve gets point number 1.
Minus, would you recommend the DS version over the N64 version?
I can wholeheartedly say I would not. It is garbage. Play the original game.
Whatever, it's not that bad. It's a hell of a lot easier to come by, too.
Horrible.
I have a hard time actually playing my N64, but anyway. So that is one for Steve right off the bat.
Quiet.
Yeah, we're in track number 2. Screw you guys. This one is from me. So.
Oh, great. Sonic.
Good job.
No,
it's just Sonic. It's just Sonic. You got it.
Oh, awesome. I heard the point, so let's go on to the next track.
That was Steve's point.
Oh, so I got Sonic? That is amazing. 2 for Steve. I'm taking this one.
Is this
Meet you all.
Sonic and the Tomato Princess of the Caesar salad?
The Crystal Citadel? Yes. Now, your first hint.
Everybody
is,
shut up so I can actually hear it.
Let's get one more track going.
First hint is what?
Your first hint is let's play another track first.
Your mom.
Your first hint is this was a Wii title.
Well, that narrows it down to a few thousand games.
Why does it sound like Mario Kart Wii?
It is most definitely not. I also only have 3 tracks because I only picked music that didn't have the name of the game in it. But unfortunately, that might not have been the smartest move on mine.
Is this Excitebots Trick Racing?
Nope.
Damn.
Is this a racing game?
No.
All right.
This is a Japanese game, I'm guessing, because it's probably got some...
It comes out of Japan, yes. In fact, it comes from a rather prestigious Japanese studio.
Not Nintendo?
Nope.
Capcom?
Nope.
Konami?
Nope. I'm going to play my last track.
My God, we can't even guess who it comes from.
Away because if you knew the developer, you would probably know the game.
Is this Mad World?
It is Mad World.
What?
Yes!
The first song was the map select screen. The second song was the Bloodbath Challenge, and this is the mid-box music.
Of course, the music that isn't actually on the soundtrack.
I had to pick the music that wasn't like vocal because every song has Mad World or Jack in it. So,
I've got all the instrumentals, so.
And for those of you playing along at home, that was made by Platinum Games, who continues to be one of the most amazing people.
I really need to finish this game
This next one is Jay-Z Beast, and I'm sorry in advance.
Oh no, this is gonna be awful.
Oh God, Jay-Z, what are you
Jay-Z
doing?
loves trolling on you guys.
All right, I don't hate it so far.
Justin giggles.
Sounds like Dead Mouse.
Is this a we haven't gotten anything yet.
You haven't gotten a single hint yet. Platform? You want platform?
Yeah, let's start with platform. That's always good.
This game was on the GameCube. In addition, it was also on the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox.
GameCube, PlayStation 2.
Okay. All right. Is the character that you're playing wearing gloves?
What the hell?
Yes.
That sounds like a me question.
That is an odd. It's like a Matt question. All right. I'm going to play a second.
Does this game have exclusive content to the Wii U?
Well, I forgot to give Eugene his point. Why does Eugene have -3 points? What did I do?
Is this a licensed track?
No.
And also, is your character wearing gloves?
Yes, I said yes.
Like legit? Oh, okay.
Yeah, character's wearing gloves. Good job.
What system did we find out this is on?
GameCube,
GameCube
PS2.
and-
GameCube. Yes, okay.
It's sister systems.
Did this also have a game that came out on portable?
No. That's that whole track, I guess.
Why does this sound like Operation Wolf?
It's not Operation Wolf. I'm just realizing you guys haven't guessed much. You just kind of guessed the winning guess every time.
Is this Turok?
Nope.
Good guess.
Took a
I
shot
have
in
to
the
get
dark.
in the Jay-Z head. How is he trolling us this week? What is he trying to do? Where are you, Jay-Z? I've got nothing. Can we get developer or publisher maybe?
That might be kind of a dead giveaway. I can give you genre.
I'll take genre.
Action shooter.
Not what I thought you were gonna say.
What isn't
Action
as opposed
shooter.
to a turn-based shooter?
Well, I
Maybe
mean,
are
there's,
those.
there's a lot of action games that don't have shooting.
Right, but there aren't very many shooting games that don't have action, so
Yeah,
it's a rather
This game
redundant
isn't-
description.
this game isn't really primarily a shooter.
Come on, dog. There's genres that are called action adventure. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, video game genres are so nebulous, it doesn't even matter.
True.
This is like
You're
the
using a-
$5 word episode.
Sometimes
I
I
was
like to
gonna
describe
say-
it as a coloring book genre. It's because I
You're-
can.
I was gonna say,
Oh,
you
Mario
bitches
Kart.
are using a lot of big words tonight.
We're
We're not about humble pirates, right, Justin?
Okay, really, guys? Nobody's got any guesses?
I got nothing, man.
I
I'm
was
not
gonna
even
say
trying.
Metroid. I was gonna say Metroid until I remembered it was on multiplayer.
Yeah, on
Everyone
Xbox.
listen very carefully.
Is it?
Is it Time Splitters Future Perfect?
Fuck.
It might be.
Is it
You motherfucking. God, this is fucking Sonic something. This is Sonic Adventure.
Is this
Sonic Adventure
Shadow
2.
the Hedgehog.
It's Shadow the Hedgehog!
What?
I pulled that out of my ass.
I am pissed. Why did
And
I
that's
even
where it
say anything?
belongs.
It's an action shooter!
Oh God.
Damn it, Lucas.
Character
And
wears
Jay-Z.
gloves!
Hey Eugene, you actually owe me about 7 points over the last few weeks, so keep them coming.
Oh, that felt great. I did not think that was going to work as well as it did. Good job, JZBs.
Yeah.
All right, this next one comes from Phantom. I would like to apologize in advance that I was unable to find your original game. Thank you for suggesting a substitute.
Damn it.
Ew, Eugene's mad.
Pretty pissed.
I'm in a good mood.
You guys hear this one okay? It sounds a little quiet on my
A
end.
little up, please.
A little up.
Hey, Phantom.
I've got my Pepsi and I pissed Eugene off. It's a good night.
With Phantom, we can go either way. He sometimes trolls us.
He was actually going to choose an RPG, but he couldn't find one, so... Well, I couldn't
a
find
few of those.
I like it.
Oh, hey, cool. That fixed the color.
You guys want hints?
Let's get
How about
another track
platform?
first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
sure.
that too. I like it, kinda. I think.
Trust me, you won't.
Oh god. Sonic. It's fucking Sonic, isn't it? Goddamn Sonic.
Your
Advance.
first hint is
Sonic
it is
Chronicles.
not Sonic. It's not
Okay.
Sonic.
Thank you.
Your second hint
Very me.
is that this game appeared on the SNES and the Game Boy. It also appeared on the Genesis, the Game Gear, and the Amiga.
Fuck. Is it like Pitfall? No.
No.
I assume this is the Super NES version.
Yeah, I believe it is, yes.
Are we sure? Because
It's
How
the
the
one I
hell?
downloaded. I tried to go for it, but I don't know.
Justin, how do you know this shit?
well,
Seriously.
I can usually tell by the sound quality, the
Font.
instruments and noises used.
Huh.
But you guys have put like the arcade music of an NES game in on us before, or
Yeah, if I'm being real, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I got the SNES version. So just roll
right.
with it.
We-
It's
we
either
need-
that or it's
we
like
need new
Genesis.
music.
All right,
How about another track, I suppose?
that's where we're going.
Thank you, buddy.
We're just gonna take a shot in the dark. Alien
Me
versus Predator.
Nope,
Earthworm Jim.
nope, but good. Start playing that loop style. Just shout out words, form sentences.
That's an actual game. I'm like, what the? Oh.
All right,
What?
the developer of this game. Sorry, getting a little sidetracked by it.
Hold on, I'm smashing the keyboard. I don't think you have it open, but you're getting a little blue dragon.
Okay, I wasn't sure what that was about.
You mean you don't know what 560, 321 plus 3.0 is?
Guys, we're just going to go with it until the end of the round, then we'll
You're fine.
refresh.
Yeah.
The developer was Delphine Software International.
Well, that helps
Mario
so much.
Sunshine.
So SNES, Amiga, don't forget that fucking gem. Genesis, Game Boy. I
Let's
got
go to the
nothing.
last track, and then I'll give you your ultimate hint.
Now, when
wonder
you
if-
said that I was close with Earthworm Jim, did that mean like it was a character-based platformer or what?
Oddly enough, it is a character-based platformer, not in the way you might think. Actually, it's not as much platformers.
Is it
No.
Booger Man?
It is very much character-based, though. I will give you that.
Is it Booger Man or Vector Man?
Not Booger Man or Vector Man.
You sound like Vector Man.
I wonder. I bet you Phantom is like playing this fucking game right now or something.
I bet you he's not. This
You'll get
game
someone.
was pretty much bashed for being awful.
Is okay a bad game, but a bad game. Is it
Bubsy?
like Bible Adventures or something? No, that was
These
NES.
are Bible adventures. It's also, I believe, a beat 'em up. So make of that what you will.
Beat 'em up that was on everything. That's tough.
Final Fight, but that's not.
I really
fair.
want you guys to get this. I kind of
Double
want
Dragon.
No. This game is actually getting, this might give it away. This game is actually getting a remake.
Shaq Fu.
There you go.
Is that really Shaq Fu?
It's really Shaq Fu.
Oh, fuck off!
I love when Eugene tells the patrons to fuck off.
When Lucas said it's actually getting, I'm like, it's getting a remake. It's got to be Shaq Fu. Terrible game getting a remake. I almost said it before he finished the sentence.
So sad right now.
Well done, Justin.
No better.
Super proud of you. Well, that'll help.
No.
Maybe stop the music and then drop back in, see if that works.
Give it a try.
Try
Just
resetting
as soon as
voice meter.
Just as soon as I can stop the music.
Like close voice meter and reopen it or whatever you have to do with voice meter, because that's what I have to do with my audio when it gets weird.
Let's wait a second and make Eugene do some editing here because I'm currently trying to close my music player. Okay.
Yay. And there we go.
Please stand by.
Can we get one of those? Eugene, what happened to your screen? You took the time to set it up and then it was gone. I missed that conversation.
I didn't have the software set up in time, and I would have had to reset my computer, and it was already running in time. And it's just like,
So as long as we are on a brief hiatus here, the current score, Eugene and Justin, that's me, are tied at 1, and Steve, by some miracle of science, is leading with 2.
Yodelady,
Ruckus too.
Good.
Lucas,
I have crushed my bandwidth. I have turned off my video. We're going to try to get through the rest of this intending like that. Where the heck were we? We just finished Phantom's wonderful Shaq Fu. Moving on to track number 5 out of 11. I have 11 this time. This one comes from Corrupted, who is, again, another one of our lovely patrons. Crap. All of these games have titles that I cannot read. Okay, good. We'll start with this one.
You sound like me.
So, must be Japanese.
No, actually, it's just that the title is incredibly long, so I couldn't read the file name.
Oh.
why does this sound familiar?
I might have played it.
Is this Golden Sun?
Nope.
This is a Game Boy
Not
game,
that.
right?
It's a Game Boy Advance game.
Bronze Sun.
Game Boy Advance. Okay. What did I play a lot of in Game Boy Advance? I played a lot of RPGs. Did a lot of.
Dragon
Is it an
Dragon
RPG?
Quest Monsters Joker whatever edition?
Ooh.
No, and it's also not an RPG, but if you ever find Dragon Quest Monsters Joker, buy it for me, because I really want it.
That's a real game? I thought he was
Yeah.
just throwing words together.
No,
it's
that's
like
really
a
good.
continuation of my favorite game series, so get that.
Japanese and their weird ass titles.
How about
All
another?
right, let's go on to a second track. How about that? Let me see if I just don't want to
Not
play
an
the title
RPG.
screen music because that would give it away. I think
How about
Okay,
that?
so that means it's licensed, right?
it is licensed.
Oh god, licensed Game Boy Advance game. That could be anything.
I mean, in as much as
Seriously?
this game can be licensed, I guess technically it's.
Oh,
licensed.
is
It's kinda hard
this-
to tell. It's that gray area like Pokemon, where it's like, well, it's like a multifaceted, you know.
Sure.
So it's not based on a movie or a TV show or some medium like that.
I mean, it could be. I don't know what came first.
Is this that Mickey's
one of-
Magical Quest 1, 2, or 3?
Oh,
No.
is it like Boktai?
It's not Boktai. If you had said Choktai, you also.
Oh
would
wait,
have known.
not Boktai. What's that one? The one with the spinny things, the Bakugan, or is that what it's called?
It's not Bakugan.
Beyblade.
Beyblade. There we go.
That's-
Is it Beyblade?
It's not Beyblade either. There are no
Oh, yeah.
hops involved.
You said it was not based, or no? You said okay. Anyway, sorry. Go on. Just
Probably
forget
could be.
I started talking.
Hey, There is no video on the YouTube feed.
Wait, now we're just gonna have to go with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just decided it would be better to have my audio come across loud and clear, but
Yeah, but like
Okay.
there's nothing there. But all right,
Okay,
as long
so
as we're not
it's-
worried.
No,
That-
there is on my end because I have it on my other screen. Maybe just refresh your browser.
All right.
So
anyway,
Nintendo.
Nintendo.
It's a semi-licensed
You
Game
can
Boy
edit me
Advance
out.
game.
Hang tight. Okay,
I got
the
nothing.
tracks were all in the order I wanted to play them in. This game was developed by Konami, who makes some of my favorite game music, actually.
I know that should help.
Eh,
Is
Hey,
this a
Eugene, throw out a
Goemon
game.
game.
it's not Goemon.
Eugene, throw out a guess so I can snipe it.
Nope, these lips are sealed, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You guys wonder why
Yeah.
I sit here in silence through the whole game.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I talk so much. I try to distract y'all. All right, I've only got one track left, and I don't have that many hints. Because the genre, honestly, would give this game away too. So let's just go to the last track and see if anybody nails it. This is
What
the
do we have
title
for clues
music.
again?
Game Boy Advance, made by Konami.
Oh my God.
It's a licensed game.
Shut up! Shut up!
Licensed game by Konami.
Keep
Is
talking.
this Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yes, that's enough. for
Yes!
you. This is, to be specific, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Sacred Cards for the Game Boy Advance.
What
Once
a
again, that was suggested by our own lovely Corrupted.
Yu-Gi-Oh! And Beyblade, two of the stupidest concepts for
Dude,
Hey,
Yu-Gi-Oh! was
an
the
anime
best.
ever.
If you lose the card game, your soul goes to the Shadow Realm, which in Japan is like, so that's freaking awesome. All
I'm
right.
not gonna lie, I was mad into at least the first 2 seasons of the anime.
Oh, yeah, dude. totally.
I know Blue Eyes White Dragon, and then there was some like Red Eyed Dragon, and then there was
Right.
those 5 God cards.
Everybody shut up. We're playing Malik Emery's track.
Who is Rose of Death, by the way.
Yes, but he has Malik Emery's on his.
I know, but once I saw him on Twitter, I'm like, oh, that's who that is. That sounds familiar.
Of course it does. It's
Might.
old, like us.
Your first hint is I've never played it.
No, there's a surprise.
So it's old, like us.
Yeah,
Game Boy game.
it is a Game Boy
Gotta
game.
be a Game Boy game. What
New
is
track.
this?
What'd you say?
New track.
Suddenly, Justin thinks.
I don't recognize the music, but I recognize the musical style.
Well, this is also done by Konami, who does some really good music.
Did they do a Marble Madness on the Game Boy?
They did not, but oddly enough, you got the initials of the game spot on.
Mighty Max?
M.
Nope.
Mad Max.
Nope.
Oh shit.
Mickey Mouse Capades?
Nope.
Majora's Mask.
Yes, for the Game Boy.
Oh
From
fuck.
Konami.
Metal Gear, Metal Mightiness, Mr. Magoo.
Okay, shut up.
No, don't shut up. I
I'm
want
trying
to
to
snipe
actually get
this.
music.
He's gonna give me an idea.
M. What the hell?
I've never heard of this game before.
Konami.
Maui Mallard.
No, but how cool would it have been if that was right?
You laugh, but I'm pretty sure that's the name of a game.
How did we get genre?
It's definitely vehicle based.
Micro Machines.
Fuck!
It's not Micro Machine. It looked like a racing game.
Oh,
I
it's
thought for
probably
sure
a-
Eugene had that.
It's probably a racing game.
oh God.
don't know,
I got
something
it licensed?
motocross.
Oh my god, you got one of the words right.
Oh god, motocross.
Madness.
No, but dear god, you're so close.
Ah!
Moto.
Motocross.
Mad Max. Motocross Mad Max. Motocross
Nope.
Mad World.
Mighty
Motocross.
Moto Machines.
No, Steve, the word motocross is correct.
Oh. Moto- Motocross Madness.
Oh my god.
Motocross Mini Heads.
Okay.
Motocross
Wait, what did you
Mania.
say?
Motocross Mini Heads.
No, and it's Steve,
Mo-
you're so
mo-
close.
Motocross
Only a
Mania,
bone
Motocross Maniac.
Yes! Motocross
Seriously?
Maniacs!
No, Steve.
Thanks, Eugene.
I should get a
Oh,
point just for guessing motocross.
I will
Justin
share that
gets
point
half
with
a point.
Justin.
Justin gets half a point.
I can't do half a point.
Okay, give Justin a full point unless it leads him to
Oh,
win. Then he gets half a point.
God. Good job. Proud of all of you. All right, this next one is straight out of my beaten heart because I love those games. So,
Sonic Forces.
not that much. You don't deserve Sonic Forces.
Oh god.
Smash Bros.
Nope.
Fuck.
Your first hint is I highly doubt any of you have played this game.
Shit, why don't I listen to Lucas?
Why
when he
does that
tells me
sound
what
like the
he's
Dark
playing?
World theme? That sounds like Death Mountain theme almost from Link to the Past.
It is not.
It wouldn't be a Zelda game, or I guarantee at least some of us would have played it.
Yeah. Also, you know, electric guitar.
Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, another track.
But it's such good music. Okay. Your first hint is this is a 3DS game.
Hmm. Steve, you lost you, by the way.
Hmm?
Steve, your microphone's dead. Might want to reset that.
It's okay. Well, I'll just sit here and enjoy the music.
I don't. Steve's back. I don't know.
Thank you for
you
spending
Your
so much
next
time
hint,
telling us that.
and this probably goes without saying, is this is an RPG.
Yeah, I'm out.
No, that didn't go without saying. I was going to guess a racing game.
I was gonna say fighting.
Have you played this game?
I haven't, but I have played other games in the series, which is your
Is
next.
this Devil Survivor Overclocked or Devil Survivor or whatever the other one
Shin
is?
Megami Tensei.
No, who developed those games?
Atlas.
Isn't that
the
Atlas?
They
publisher.
didn't Atlas develop.
Then you have the right developer because
And
this game
Etrian
was also
Odyssey.
made. Yes, Etrian Odyssey.
Listen to Lucas.
Specifically, Etrian Odyssey 5. Good job, buddy. Proud of you. That was the test. Eugene passed. Justin, you want to give us the score real quick?
No.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching Nintendo Tunes. Tune in next week.
I have 1 point. Eugene and Steve are tied at 3.
Okay, let's give Justin a point for Motocross Madness too. Then Maniacs.
I'm okay with that.
Don't think it's gonna matter, but thanks.
All right,
Oops.
this next track is also one of mine because I am great and the world revolves around me. So let me find the one I want to start with.
Tonight it does,
Thank you.
but only
This
because
is-
you're hosting.
love this music though. What entry in Odyssey did you say it
know.
was?
Five.
That was Etrian Odyssey 5.
Clearly,
This,
some
however, is an entirely different game.
I'll be honest, it'd be hard to tell.
I know. I have a very particular taste in music. I picked some of my favorite songs this week.
Is this Smash?
This is not Smash.
Is this? Oh no, I got nothing.
Bayonetta 1 and 2?
No, but good guess. This game does have a
Wonderful
very
101?
loose... No, this game does have a very loose tie-in with Bayonetta. Not anything like actually like related to each other, but they have like one common point that they both
Devil
share.
May Cry.
Nope. It is
What?
not their genre.
What are you talking about here?
I don't really want to
that
say
hint is-
because
So
it's a big hint. I just want to get to the part of the song I really like, and then we'll go to another track. It's about to get really good.
okay, so there's something related to Bayonetta, but it is not genre.
Correct.
And I'm guessing it's not developer because that would be just blatantly obvious.
Not specifically.
Okay, new track.
Does your character wear gloves?
I believe so. But that is not this character's most important feature.
Not Bayonetta's either.
All right, your first hint is this was a 3DS game.
3DS.
Yeah.
There goes my next guess.
I know. This music was like my college soundtrack.
Your college is weird.
3DS. It shares something with Bayonetta.
Something very loose that they have in
Yeah.
common.
They
Oh,
both have female characters.
no. Well, I mean, they both have female characters, but the lead of this game is a male. This game was also featured on iOS. I forgot to tell you that. This game did have Street Pass functionality, but it would be incredibly hard to utilize because almost nobody owned this game. And unfortunately, for decent reason. The music is good. The gameplay, meh.
Did you give us publisher or developer yet?
I did not. This might be a giveaway, but it's kind of an obscure game. The thing that this game has in common with Bayonetta is that Bayonetta was published by Sega. This game was developed by Sega.
God, this sounds like Runbow, but it's not.
Sega developed 3DS games. Is this like Code of Princess? No, that wasn't Sega.
crap.
Plus, that had a female protagonist.
Right, yeah, true.
I think I know what it is. I can't think of the title. I am cheating because I think I have this game.
The name of the villain in this game was Napoleon.
Where is it?
It's not Codename Steam. No, that wasn't Napoleon. That was
God,
Abraham
no,
Lincoln.
I don't want to know about the software downloaded to my system. Just
Napoleon? What the frig?
Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure?
Yes! I'm very proud of Justin for kind of looking it up, but also kind of knowing what it was.
I was like, I know there's something rhythm in the name, but I didn't want to say that and have Steve steal it from me.
My last hint was going to be that the name of the game also had the genre of the game in it. It was a bizarre touch-based rhythm game, but it was cute. I liked it. I'm sad they never.
I would never gotten there anyway, so.
I got it. I think I got it in a Humble Bundle.
That was all.
I really liked
Justin.
it. Okay, we are going back. The last, well, two of the last three tracks are patron suggestions. And our next one comes from Dr. Johnny 5. This next game, in my opinion, gets the award for being the most obscure game on the list. But hey,
Perfect.
By the way, with the half a point from Motocross, I am now only half a point behind you guys. So,
So it's
a half a point. It's actually we're all three of us tied on my screen.
Those half points come into play. Let me tell you. Could we have a volume upgrade?
You can. I don't know if it'll help. The music isn't very musical.
Electroplankton.
Nope. Good guess, though. I should do that.
I don't know if it's possible to do that, to be honest.
God, this game sounds... I'm sorry, Dr. Johnny. I know you didn't make the music for this game, but this game sounds terrible. Music, anyways.
Odd music. I had trouble finding tracks for this one.
This honestly sounds like just ambient music. Is this like an adventure game?
You know, I'm gonna look this one up because I honestly have no idea what this game is.
the only thing that's coming to mind is Red Steel and Red Steel 2. Damn, dude.
I believe this game is part of a series because I got a lot of other results when I looked it up, but I'm not entirely sure of that either. Let me get some info for you guys.
Yeah, Eugene and I were right there together.
It's a first-person shooter.
Oh, great.
So is it Red Steel or Red Steel 2?
No, it's actually an N64, PlayStation, and Game Boy Color game.
Game Boy Color?
This game has very different ratings based on who you ask. IGN gave it a 5 out of 10 when it came out, but MU Paradise currently gives it a 4.4 out of 5. So I guess it's remembered fondly.
How about another
World Is Not Enough, is it?
Already on my way. It is not.
The first-person shooter I can think of that came out a month ago.
Did it have multiplayer?
I don't know. Eugene.
Now you know how Justin felt. Was it Justin that was hosting the week Matt was here?
I try to do my research, but
I actually came prepared that week. I'm pretty sure that this was never on the PlayStation, but is it Turok?
It is not Turok, and just so you know, the Game Boy Color version was a top-down shooter.
Yeah.
The game came out in late 1999. It was a multiplayer game as well as a single player.
Well, if it was on N64, it almost definitely...
For a second there, it sounded like Halloween.
Right? Is it based on a license or something? Is this South Park?
Not that I'm aware of.
And you said it's a first-person shooter, not third-person, correct?
On the N64, yes. It's a top-down shooter on the Game Boy.
It's not based on a license.
Yeah, I can't think of many.
It was a futuristic... Oh, it is based on a license. It's based on it, actually. And it was developed by Acclaim.
What license did you say it was based on?
Comic book.
Comic book.
And it's not Turok.
Oh, you're trying to be a sneaky...
I got that too when I saw that smirk. I was like, you, Steve.
It's not Turok. I didn't even know Turok was a licensed game.
Spawn. Is it Spawn?
Nope. I'm telling you, I don't think you're going to get this one. I've never even heard of this game. I got one track left, so enjoy. I did mention it's a futuristic shooter too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to Wikipedia. I'm just going to unload on you guys with some knowledge.
Okay.
It is based on a comic book from Valiant Comics. The game has 2 characters to choose from, Tony Lewis and Mira Lane. Each has a different starting weapon. Tony uses a slower but stronger gun than Mira. Mira uses a faster machine gun-like weapon, which causes less damage. Additional weapons can be picked up throughout the game. You can accommodate up to 4 players, and it is compatible with the Rumble Pack. The plot is a group of Marines fitted with advanced futuristic suits of armor protect Earth from an invasion of extraterrestrial, spider-like beings. They protect the Earth by killing the spiders with their weapons.
Is this Starship Troopers?
Nope.
I concede.
I got nothing.
I'm out.
Do we all surrender?
I guess. I feel like when you
See.
say it, I'm gonna kick myself. But
I
Probably.
doubt it, dude. This game was called Armorines Project Swarm.
I've heard of it, but
Oh, you got better than me. I haven't.
I never would have guessed.
That's the game. Give Dr. Johnny 5 a point. You just got stumped.
Well done, Johnny. Well done.
All right, gents. 2 tracks left. This last one, well, this last viewer suggested one comes from Kevin Bell. And away we go.
Who did you say this was from?
Kevin Bell. It was not a familiar name.
He's
I was
a-
gonna
he's
say
a new
he's kind
patron.
of new. So I'm not sure what he digs yet. What do you dig, Kevin? What you dig?
I will say this is also a rather obscure one, at least from my point of view. Then again, I wasn't big into Nintendo DS games, so I missed a lot of them.
Okay, so there's our first clue, kind of.
I also never owned a PSP, so
Is this Spore?
it is not Spore.
Can we get a new track?
Probably. This one has a really cute name.
Probably. I'll
Cute
have to-
Nintendo DS game.
Well, I wouldn't call the game cute.
Kevin. What you got, Kevin? Is it Fire Emblem?
Nope.
On the PSP?
Remember, this game was also on PSP.
Oh, I didn't catch that part.
Again,
Also
some
on
of us were
PSP.
listening.
Is this
What,
Final
This
Puzzle
Fantasy?
Quest? Is this Puzzle
Is
Quest?
this?
No, and no, it's not Final Fantasy.
Well, I was gonna say Tactics.
No, it's no Final Fantasy. No, this game is a strategy shooter role-playing hybrid.
Man, a strategy. Is it like Valkyria Chronicles? Did that ever come out on? DS?
It might have, but this is not it. The game was developed by Sting Entertainment. It is the 4th episode in a series of games. The series being, I believe I'm pronouncing this right, Department Heaven.
I've got.
Illuminati. Alright, how about I play the last track and I read you guys the description, and if nobody gets it, you just give up and
Wait,
go home.
our patrons are stumping us tonight.
I know.
Cool and unusual, but they pay to ruin your guys' lives. So. Alright. Blank is a strategy shooter role-playing game hybrid from Sting Entertainment, the 4th episode in the Department Heaven series of video games. It was released by Atlas in North America in June of 2009. It released a special edition of this game that I can't say because it has the original title. It includes a copy of Deep Grit Union Will Never Fight Alone for the Game Boy Advance. Generally, the game is divided into 3 separate screens to set up the tactics screen and the actual battle. The plot is the story in this game is told in both a forward and reverse fashion, with the relevation of past events which happened at Castle Aventheim being used to decide and explain the events of the present. The plot follows the players Wisp and a Valkyrie, the former of whom recruits fallen knights as allies to battle against
Yeah,
monsters.
I got
I'm
nothing.
out. I'm out.
Nothing.
This
I
game,
was out when the description started.
The Curse of
This
Castle
game was-
Aveline.
adorably enough, called Nights in the Nightmare.
Oh, I
Oh
actually
my
heard that game.
god. I have heard of that.
Yeah, it's got like some like chick on the cover or some with a big old sword or something like that.
The only thing I
Yes.
know about the game, other than the title, is what Lucas just read to us off of Wikipedia.
What's the
Yeah.
final score now? It's like 3-3 to 2.5.
Yeah.
All right. I have a game that I had in the event of a tiebreaker that I was going to play either way.
Hey, hold on one sec, Lucas. Will you reset yourself?
I will reset myself, and then we will go into our tiebreaker round.
Lucas is gone, but everyone is still here.
And there's one of our songs for our outtakes track.
I hear music, but Lucas is not
Yeah.
here.
That would be
Oh.
one Mr. Justin.
Did you just download Nights in the Nightmare?
No, I'm listening
And
to my
now
Breath of the Wild
I'm
Hyrule Castle
singing
mix.
And I'm dancing. Can you hear me? Am I better?
Much.
Well,
Much
I mean,
better.
relatively speaking.
Relative. Better is a relative term. This last one might be difficult. I would like to stick it out until one of you gets it, even if that means resorting to you guys jumping into your eShop, but let's see what we can do without that. And we will wait for Steven.
I'm good.
Okay, good. Okay,
cats are fighting, so
gentlemen.
I'm-
That was a big plate of chicken, homeboy.
The black man has seen chicken.
Oh,
I'm hungry too, so don't even mess.
okay.
Watermelons and grape soda.
Oh.
I am so fired.
You're gonna have to cut all of that out.
I'll just put the Pikachu sound effect. You just got some Pika and some Pika soda.
I think that might make it worse.
You guys, tiebreaker.
Yeah, and Justin can win this too. He'll win by
Yeah.
half a point if he
That's
gets
true.
Whoever gets this wins.
And this one came from Lucas.
Yep.
Rocket League.
I chose it specifically for this song. It is not Rocket League.
I really like it, and I
I
hope
know.
that it's not a Sonic game.
It's not.
Because every time I say that, it's like Shadow's Great Adventure or something.
It's a Switch game, isn't it, Lucas?
It is a Switch game. That'll be your first hint then. I was going to give you genre, but go ahead. It's a Switch game.
Is this Disc Jam?
It's not Disc Jam.
Ooh, I was gonna be so mad.
It's a little more obscure than that.
Oh, is this your... Oh! Is this your Dangan Jungadan Bullet Hell
No,
game?
it's not Danmaku Unlimited. That game has a much more hard rock metal sound.
Is that Gal Girls game or whatever it is?
Nope.
Is it a game that's out?
It is a game that's out. In fact, it was a game that was on sale. Phantom convinced me to buy it for like $2, which is why.
Oh God, why do I not listen to
Oh, is it Camino?
you? Why?
Nope.
What are the games
I don't
really
think
$2?
I don't think I've talked about this one actually. Let me move on to the next one. So
it's
needless
probably
to
like
say, it's an indie game. Also, 2 might have been a gross generalization. It could have been 5. I don't know for sure, so don't quote me on that.
Phantom?
Phantom is trolling us again.
From beyond the grave. That was that whole track.
I was like,
This game is more of an artistic short than an actual game. I guess it could also be described as something of a visual novel, but much more American take on the genre.
Is it Night in the Woods?
It's not Night in the Woods, but it's in that same vein where you spend a lot more time talking about things.
I know what it is. Oh no.
I'm not so sure you do because I just discovered it a few days ago.
No, but I remember he said something about it in the Discord. He always tells us when there's sales. He said specifically that this is a game that you Oh god, I'm gonna be so mad.
And unfortunately for you, there were 2 games he suggested that were on sale of this type, and I picked up one of them. So
I hope y'all are enjoying my catfight camp.
How about another track?
I've only got one more. This is like track number 3. Well, actually, I have the whole soundtrack because I downloaded it for free, but most of the music is identical. So.
Soundtrack was on Bandcamp, wasn't it?
Yep.
Is this Oxenfree?
It's not, but you're very close.
Fuck.
It's that same type of game.
Ooh.
I don't even know what type of game Oxenfree is.
Phantom!
I don't
do
know if you guys
that
have heard of
there's
this game.
totally missed marketing opportunity by not bundling Ali Ali and Oxenfree.
I know. I honestly thought they were sequels. So this game, I'm just going to get into some plot now because I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it or not. This game takes place in kind of the future where robots have become sentient. You play as a robot on a subway, and you communicate with other robots as you attempt to solve a mystery.
God. I think I remember the trailer for this.
Like a kind of like a walking sim or like an adventure type game, you know, like where
You don't move your character at all. You spend the entire time sitting in a chair communicating with other passengers.
Did you just say a walking sim?
like that's a thing, dog.
That's kind of how I would describe Night in the Woods, actually. I mean, that's like the only movement
Or like Firewatch or something like that.
I don't know what else I can do to help you with this. I want somebody to get this because I don't really have any other tiebreakers. The game was developed entirely by one person, I believe, Mike Bithell. It's available on Switch, PC, and iOS.
I know I watched the trailer for this, and as soon as somebody says it, it's gonna piss me off.
It's kind of a tongue-twistery title. I don't think you guys are going to get it. I think I'm going to have to find another tiebreaker.
Roddy Robo Reader.
All right, you guys give up?
Yes.
I'll go to YouTube and kill my connection speed. This game is called Subsurface Circular.
Oh, God. No, never would have gotten there. Never.
Got nothing.
Very interesting game. I recommend you guys try it out. Okay, well, that leaves us at like a 2.5-way tie. We can't have that, so I'm just going to get some really quick, simple music, and we're going to go it from there. I guess I'll pick something easy. First one of you that gets the game wins the whole freaking shebang. How's that sound?
I'm okay with this.
Okay, Eugene, Justin, be quiet. Let me have my first win for the year, huh?
Hang on, muting Steve.
Oh,
you
God.
jerk. I don't need your help with that.
I just saw the thumbnail for this video on YouTube, and it's me like bent over with my hair flying up in the air. It's a horrible thumbnail.
Hooray! Finally, I don't lose the thumbnail war.
I don't think I've ever been on one.
Okay, let's go with...
You never talk.
Okay, this is Gilvasunner, not Silva Gunner, so this should be a safe song. Unless they switch names.
I'm so scared.
Also, there might be an advertisement before it, so be prepared.
Trojan Man.
My teeth and ambitions are bared.
Oh, looks like we're going into it. When will it load?
Nobody knows.
No, we've got an ad for League of Legends.
League of Legends.
I will skip as soon as possible.
Welcome to League of Legends.
Why is this funny? Why does it sound
The
like
skip button doesn't show up. It's a 1.5 minutes long and there's no skip button.
Oh, this is
Tyrell is so happy right now. He plays this game.
Oh God, this is hilarious.
Whatever
It's okay. I've got my show notes and I'm gonna type in them.
I
Oh
hate
my
this.
God.
I hate YouTube. I hate
My
it so
anxiety
much.
right now, Lucas. My anxiety.
I know. Be ready, because at any moment after League of Legends, this episode of Infendo Radio is tragically not sponsored by League of Legends. If you
Although it should be.
someone terrible to sponsor your game that's not even on a Nintendo console, do your thing. Why can I not skip a minute and a half long ad?
Oh, dear
I hope we
God.
get a
God,
cop. I hope we get a copyright strike for this ad.
Imagine.
For this ad. Oh, there's the skip ad button. It only took a minute and a half. And of course, it won't like actually skip because YouTube and death.
Try your best. Have some fun, and I'll see you out on the road.
I'll see you out on the road.
I'll see you in the future.
Oh! No.
Conker's Bad Fur Day?
Nope.
Donkey Kong 64.
Donkey Kong 64!
Holy motherfucker!
Oh, Steve won Nintendo. Steve.
I'm like, oh my God, I know this.
I would have known it better if it weren't all crackly and dragony, but you know.
Hey,
the
shut up.
ballpark.
That's my advantage.
That's what you guys get for making it. All right, I'm gonna go reboot Steve, wallow in your victory, and we'll hook up
Holy
in like 10
shit.
seconds.
This is what I get for announcing that I was going to mute Steve.
Yeah.
Congratulations, buddy.
Right? All right. Well, Steve is our winner. Congratulations, Steve. We're
Where's
gonna
my
take a little
fireworks?
break.
You said you would have fireworks for me this week. If I won, I won. Where's my fireworks?
Mistakes were made. Steve is the winner.
That is a. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that one on air.
Go and show what you're worth.
We're gonna take a little break and we'll be right back.
Oh,
Oh,
you're gonna leave
as
them
you shoot
going,
across the sky.
There you go, Steve. Are you happy now?
Yes, finally. I won. That's my one win for the year.
I tried to
My
pick
one
a
win
track.
for the show.
I tried to pick a track that everybody would have like an equal chance at winning.
Yeah,
Showing up.
Well,
Okay,
when
the moment you started playing it, we were all like, "We've heard this, but from what?"
well, and when someone
Right.
said Conquer, I was like, oh God.
I know.
They
As soon as
got
I
it.
said Conquer, I was like, they're on track.
It reminded me of either the U-Bend Blues or the poo section, but without all the gross
Opera?
noises.
Lucas,
So
what was the
we
name? What was the
have,
name of that track? By the way, I can't remember.
So I was gonna just sorry. Go ahead. Answer his question.
Judge. That was Snides HQ.
Yes.
So
That's
we're
right,
running
okay.
long, obviously, already, and we have 6 questions to get through. So do we want to table the change the system since we're going to probably be at least 30 minutes talking questions, or do we want to lower the timer on the questions so we can get to change the system?
Well, my
We can
change the
skip
system
minuses
is
altogether.
my change the system is pretty much literally just going to be I played Breath of the Wild, so like I don't know.
I
Good with skipping it,
hated
but I know
every
Justin-
minute of
My-
it.
my
I know
change
Justin has a lot to say, so
my change the system was we beat Kirby. I started the Shantae DLC, and I've been playing Tamagotchi, and nobody cares about 2 of 3 of those. So
It's funny because this is actually the first week that I've actually played games, but I'm okay with tabling it and then just kind of going with next week unless you
That's
have
fine.
something you're dying to talk about, Justin.
I don't even remember what I've been playing off the top of my
Yeah,
head.
brain.
If it-
all right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Change the System. And now for the question.
Okay, then that works. Then we'll just roll
I'm
right
playing Lego City
into.
Undercover. There you go. So,
There you go. Well, we'll just roll right into the question block, and we'll kind of make that our closing segment. I see Justin, you've already chosen the first question from Schnazzy One, so I'll bring us into question block, and then I will let you take the lead.
all right.
Hey, before we get started with that, guys, I'm just going to randomly assign everybody a question or two. So do you want
I
to
want
do it
mine.
that way? Okay, you got minus.
I'll
Eugene.
take, I don't know,
You got
JZ
Schnazzy
or...
one. Okay, fine. You also get JZ Beast. Steve, you want Kevin Bell or Phantom?
I will take Kevin Bell because I like to complain.
Okay.
I don't.
will
You can take the last one because that's fine. Yeah.
All right. Life is good. Everybody wins.
Okay. All right. So we're all ready to rock and roll then.
I'm expecting one of you to have the answer of JZB's question ready to go. Just putting it out there.
It's a Google search away, my friend. All right, and we are back. I am the winner of Nintendo's as always.
Shit. Oh shit.
No, I won. I'm the winner.
Nope.
Of course, I'm the best, the greatest, the champion. As it should
Like
be.
no one
No,
ever-
Steve fucking won. Good congratulations on your
Hey,
goddamn.
that's my obligatory win for the year.
Yeah. Hey, actually, that's true. You did that. Is that your first win for the year?
Yeah, actually.
Nice.
I'm ahead of Justin.
Are you?
I am.
I
I don't think you've won
a
yet.
single Nintendo's this year.
No.
Oh, that was the moment that Justin's soul snapped in two. All right. Well, if you want to submit a track for Nintendo's, you can too by joining us at the $2 level at patreon.com/Infendo Radio. But that's not the section we're in. We're about to hit that question block. We've got some questions. Schnazzy 1 was the first one to write in. If you want to write in with a question, you can too by going to patreon.com/Infendo Radio. Why don't you take us away with our first question, Justin?
Yes, and by the way, the question block is at the $3 level.
Correct.
So if you want to submit a question to us, Schnazzy One writes in with, "What's your craziest idea for Nintendo Labo?" And honestly, the first thing that I thought of when I read this question was, you guys remember? Crap, I can't remember the name. I think Steel Battalion. That Xbox game with the gigantic controller. Anyone remember that?
Yeah, dude, I had Steel Battalion. I had to get rid of it when I moved like the third time because that thing was like a tank. Like it was literally, it was huge.
Literally like a tank. You control the tank, and I could totally see like a Labo version of Star Fox where you have like the full cockpit in front of you or something like that, and all the buttons and switches, and one of the Joy-Con is the control stick and all that.
Yeah, I would be so down for that actually. Sorry, Lucas. Let me just tack on here because I actually played Steel Battalion, and I was so disappointed in the Kinect version that came out on the 360. Like I knew it wasn't going to be like the same thing, but I at least wanted it to be kind of half good, and it wasn't. It was terrible. So yeah, give me that. Actually sounds rad. Lucas, hit me.
Okay, he said craziest, not best idea. So the Nintendo Labo is a giant package where you can assemble basically a 2-story ferret climbing thing. Justin is just mid-swing and dying. So you've got tubes and wheels and stuff like that. You attach a Joy-Con to the collar that you wear, also made of cardboard, on your neck. You attach another Joy-Con to your butt, preferably with a belt buckle, but you do you. And you run around and you're a ferret. And that's the game. That's the whole game.
I can't follow that. I don't know.
Oh, and there's pineapples in the tubes, like in the game version, and you have to find all the pineapples because otherwise, where's the game?
I just have to throw out there that Eugene, having been the only one of us who has actually played Steel Battalion, I think that's crazy enough of an idea in and of itself.
You don't even want to know.
Quite to the extent that Lucas took it.
While you guys were talking about that, before that, I was thinking cardboard dating sim, where you just cut out a cardboard girl or boy of your choice, and you date them. You
Please,
date them.
for the love
Use
of
the
God,
Joy-Con to
rescue us
caress their hair.
from,
All right.
from the assault on our ears and minds.
All right. Are you ready for this? I'm going to take you on a trip.
Okay.
Pokemon Lava.
Talk to me.
Is it like Pokemon Snap and you throw
Make
the Pokeballs at the cardboard Charmander?
Yep,
Make me
yep.
see it. Make
Yeah,
me see
what
it.
you do is you put Joy-Con, because you can have like 2, 4, 6, 8, 8 different Joy-Con attached to your Switch at once, right? So you've got 7 Pokemon, 7 little cardboard Pokemon, and you chuck your last Joy-Con at the Pokemon.
That can't possibly go badly.
Yeah, I love it, and I also feel like you would break a lot of like $35 Joy-Con in the process.
Details. It's a crazy idea. You know what they can do? Joy-Con condoms. That'll solve that problem.
And the next question.
You put the Joy-Con in the Pokeball.
No. I haven't gone yet, Justin, and I want to go there. So, taking on to Lucas's dating sim idea, that got me thinking of the dating game back in the day. So, in the dating game, you couldn't see the people that you were dating. So that immediately brought me to, are you ready? Labo Catholic Confessional. And you put the Switch there, right? But you can't really see anything on the Switch. It's not really, because you can't see the priest, right? But you'll know if your sins have been forgiven by the HD Rumble.
Yes.
So,
that
I had
soft
no idea
rumble
where you were going with
that
this, but the
soft rumble
payoff
is
was well worth
forgiveness.
it.
That hard rumble, that means you're going to hell. I like it.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm
I
Episcopalian, so I
feel
would have no idea what to do in that.
I feel a little dirty listening to this, even more so than with Lucas's idea.
We could combine Eugene's and Lucas's
I'd like to point out that the person who proposed Joy-Con condoms feels dirty right now.
Well, you got to protect your Joy-Cons. You don't want them to get hurt.
That's fair. Okay. Next question. Eugene, save our souls.
Oh, this is going to save our souls?
Oh, God.
A minus question?
Should we start specifying that they have to be Nintendo-related
No,
questions?
absolutely not.
Because we might get more creative with them, and then it'll be worse.
They are paying money for this tier. We want them to have the freedom to ask whatever their little hearts desire.
And with that, the next question is...
All right, Minus64 asks, and you can too by going to patreon.com/InfendoRadio. Is it possible to slam a revolving door?
Burning that timer there.
It is.
It is not.
It is. You slam it into the person in front of you or behind you.
All right.
That might be the only way that it's possible.
Salvage that argument. I was going to say the slamming is the door actually hitting the door jamb, but
no,
as long as
slamming.
Did you just say slam jam?
No, door jam.
Thank you, ma'am. Get on the floor and jam.
All right.
Crickets, Lucas.
Girl, you got me in the zone.
Eugene, can you insert crickets right after Lucas asked that? Just crickets.
No, I
need a soundboard.
I was going to agree with Justin right up until Steve said that you can slam it into another human being. That is a totally unacceptable way of slamming a revolving door. Mm-hmm. So I concur with Steven.
Yes.
Eugene, would you like to weigh in on this one?
Do I hear another?
Okay. So I have a proposal for you guys.
Oh, no.
What happens if... So hear me out here, guys. The revolving door has to lock at some point, right? So what happens if somebody locks the mechanism, slams the revolving door, it hits that locking mechanism and then slams. Therefore, the revolving door slams. Am I right, guys?
Can I expand upon this? What happens when the locking mechanism fails and hits them in the face?
Oh God!
Why is everything come around to hitting people with doors?
Can I expand upon this? What if the door is inside of a 2-hold straw? and you were to slam the revolving door with the wind pressure from the straw, then close the door and force it to slam, as it were.
So it's in the 2-hole 3-prong straw, right? Because I mean, we gotta make sure
the infinitely hold straw. Yes, that is correct.
the 2-prong straw or
With
the 3-prong straw with 2 holes.
Yeah.
Correct.
How do I think that this is going to result in another emoji in the Discord chat?
What's that I hear? The sound of our timer going off?
Lucas, why don't you take us into the next question, please?
Oh, why freaking don't I? Hey, look at that. A normal question from Dr. Johnny 5.
Middle of the show.
Dr. Johnny 5 writes, what new features would you want out of a new Animal Crossing? Can I just say there are so many features I want out of a new Animal Crossing?
Oh, God.
So much stuff that I want.
More board games.
What don't I want? Yeah, more board games, definitely. Mobile restrictions. I'd like to be able to buy things with actual money. No, I want Animal Crossing to get like not obviously literally Breath of the Wild, but I want it to get like that Breath of the Wild treatment. Like I want to go into a town and have it be like really big and exciting. Like Animal Crossing has always been kind of held back by the limitations of the original game. And every game has expanded upon that in like the smallest itty bitty way. I want like legit, like I go into my Animal Crossing town and it is like a town. It is an experience. And like I get to spend time with my neighbors. I've had concepts where like you get to have like a roommate that lives on like your second floor. Hell, I'd like to be able to like be an animal instead of being locked into being a person. There are things from Animal Crossing that I really want that will like never happen. But like, oh, I want so much from Animal Crossing, man. But the thing I want more than anything, the feature I want more than anything is the ability to start an online town with other people. I would like to be able to create a town, maybe separate from my own personal town, but create an Infendo town, and it has 4 player slots. And every one of us gets to live in the town and interact with each other at the same time, at different times, and go in, and it's like hosted on a cloud server or something. So like we all have access to it. And yeah, Justin can
chop down all their goddamn cherry trees.
Justin can go screw up the town and chop down all the trees and bury dirty underwear in front of all of our houses. And then Steve can come along and obsessively draw paneling on all the walls. Everything looks perfect. Then Justin can come back and screw it all up.
Can we build a big old trench in this game?
We can build a big old trench
right in front of Justin's front door.
And Dustin, you know what?
Found a big old trench. I'll be honest with you.
I want to tack onto this, Lucas, because that's exactly my want from Animal Crossing. Like, give me, like, it was great with the DS game and the Wii game, right, where we got to go into other people's towns and interact that way. But like, there was limitations. Like, you had to open the gate. So, and then once you open the gate, people can come in. Like, I want it so that I can see like a lobby of my people and say, hey, man, like, come on into my town. And they just see that my town is open or that I'm in, like you said, maybe that separate town. And then everybody can come in. Like, yes, give it to me.
Yeah, and I know this is probably... Sorry, Steve.
You're fine. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say real quick, like, I know this is probably a pipe dream because it doesn't really exist with like the tech we have right now, but it would be even cooler if you didn't even have to be online to play. You could just have a town that's always online for yourself.
Right.
And like, you could set specific people with permissions to come. Like, I trust you guys. It's like, you guys are my best friends and you guys can come into my town even when I'm not there and like leave.
You guys are my best friends. Here's my friend code.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like that kind of thing. Like a permission to come visit my town even when I'm not playing in it. So like you guys can do what you want, you know, and like leave me surprises, write messages on the wall, you know.
Okay, here's a thought I just had.
Okay, then Steve.
Steve's fault for not talking.
Yeah.
Okay, you know how the original Animal Crossing had the ability to play NES games? Okay, obviously with like Virtual Console and whatever the hell they're doing with classics on the Switch, we're probably not going to get that. But what about whatever Virtual Console games you have purchased or have access to on your Switch are playable in-game in Animal Crossing. So
that would be really
we
cool.
could actually use Animal Crossing as a multiplayer lobby of sorts for like classic games.
I really like that.
So something interesting happened this generation. I got into online gaming because I'm in the Infendo group. And if Animal Crossing was online, that one thing alone would be enough to push me into finally trying the series. I've never played an Animal Crossing game, even the 3DS one, even the phone one. But if we could get online and I had something I could share with you guys and even our listeners,
Right.
that is something I can get behind.
Yeah, and so kind of tacking in on that, like I think it would be so awesome to have the ability to like kind of like create our own market, you know, within our town, you know, like set like okay, Lucas has opened up his shirt shop. It's called Designed by an Animal Crossing.
Designed by Lucas.
And
Dude.
yeah, and then so like he goes in and creates all these shirts, he takes it to the shop and he can set the price or something like that. Like give us some kind of interaction with the economy beyond what we have.
Love that. Dude. Oh, that's actually another thing. Like even if we're not talking like multiplayer, I would love to have like a job system in place or something.
Sure.
Or like a better way of, I'm not talking like a weird dating aspect like in Rune Factory, because that'd be weird with the animal mechanic. But like a better way of like gauging your friendship level with your villagers. Because right now it's very cut and paste, you know. It's very, she likes me enough to give me her photograph, or like he doesn't like me very much, so he gets pissed when he talks to me. Like I'd like more interaction. I'd like characters to not feel like the same 5 like cookie cutter personalities. Have a little more depth. Have a little more, you know, character to them.
So what I've gotten from all of what Lucas has said is he has furry fantasies, and he wants the next Animal Crossing to cater to them.
I want to be a cat, and I want to date a rhinoceros.
Okay, let's going back to the snazzy one question. I want an Animal Crossing dating sim labo. Let's go. Justin just sighs.
Where's the cricket sound effect? We need to have that on a button.
I'm putting it on my phone.
All right,
I will just do it through my goddamn microphone.
That was our timer. Steve, take us away with Kevin Bell.
All right. Kevin Bell asks, what was the worst game you guys played last year? Not that you heard was bad, but actually played. He wants controversy. There is one and only one game that comes to mind with this question. It was Uno on the Switch. We bought it. Garbage. We tried to play online. We got connected. We didn't get connected. We got booted. We deleted it. It was terrible. If I could ask for a refund on that game, I would have got, what did we pay, like $5 for it?
Yeah.
I want my $5 back. That'll buy me lunch. No joke.
All right, I'm going to go next. And because he asked for controversy, so I'm going to fucking bring it. The worst game I played last year, and it was because of you, Lucas, was Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
I knew it was going to be something that Lucas suggested.
Well, that's funny because I was going to say that the worst game I played was Illusion of Gaia, but you go ahead.
Oh, you bitch!
Then there's controversy.
I mean, I could just throw in the worst game I played was Monster Hunter Generations and complete this.
No, I actually have a legitimate answer for this question. I guess probably the worst game that I played last year, and it might be a little bit controversial, I guess, because we got it as a game for review code, but that Brick Race game, man, that was probably on the bottom tier of the games that I played last year.
That was last year? I thought that was a couple of years ago.
Oh, God, maybe it was.
So, fun fact, actually, the worst game I played, I could say Uno with Steve.
I think that was before we had the podcast back up.
I could say Uno because that game was legitimately bad. But to be a little different, I played a couple of really bad games that we got as review codes as well. And I do feel a little weird saying that because, like, somebody gave us a free game to play, but I'm going through my list of games I took off of my Switch, and the two that stand out for me are Serial Cleaner and Red Game Without a Great Name. I think the worst of those two, like those games, they both bored me. Red Game Without a Great Name was actually really disappointing because thematically, like the art style is actually really interesting and kind of a bizarre mechanical, almost steampunk thing with like a silhouette thing where you don't actually see the character, you just see like the black outline and everything. But the gameplay is tedious and boring. You have a character that flies automatically from the left to the right. You can touch the character and teleport it to a different area, and you have to get to the end. That's the game. The problem with the game, the biggest problem with the game, is that it wasn't optimized for Switch or for any like console handheld experience. So for anyone who's right-handed, it means putting your right hand down and dragging and not being able to see where you're dragging to because your hand is in the way, because you're not playing with a stylus or a mouse or anything like that. It felt lazy. It felt like kind of a cheap cash-in, personally, and that really bummed me out because, again, somebody gave us this game to review. Obviously, people put work into it. People deserve to be applauded for their game design, but I didn't like it like at all. And that is kind of reflected in my review on our website, actually. But that was probably my biggest disappointment.
Fair enough. Well, we've got 2 seconds before our timer, so that's not enough for anybody else to say anything else, motherfuckers.
Everybody else being
that's fine
Justin.
because I couldn't think of any truly terrible games I played last year.
Maybe you are more.
Oh.
Well, maybe Jay-Z Beast's question is more up to speed.
Lego Worlds. I didn't like it. Sorry.
Anyway. Maybe Jay-Z Beast's
that was
question
this year,
is
though.
more up to speed.
Oh, sorry. I forgot I'd taken that one. JZB asks, what is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
24 miles an hour.
I'm going to say it depends. What time of year is it, Justin?
God, you all suck.
How is an unladen swallow?
Has no one in this group seen Monty Python and the Holy Grail?
No.
Yeah, but I was like 2.
I gave the actual answer. If you go online, it is to approximately 24 miles an hour.
Lucas, read Phantom's question.
Can you do that in kilometers per hour, Lucas?
All.
For everybody outside of the U.S.?
Well, it's 11 meters per second.
Justin really, he's leaving the show after tonight.
Jay-Z Beach is rescinding his pledge.
Jay-Z Beach? He might be after you called him that.
For reference, gentlemen. Anyway, our final question of the night comes from Phantom. This is a big one, and this is going to take a lot of our time. So let's go about this democratically. A couple of ideas have come to mind lately of ways to change up Nintendo IPs. What do you guys think about these ideas as a way to mix up old IPs? Can I list one and then can we discuss it for a minute? Because there's like 5 of them here and it's going to be kind of hard to do it otherwise. So let's start with a Pokemon MMORPG. I love it. I want it to be a thing. I would have so much fun with it. As long as it doesn't replace my main Pokemon goodness, I'm totally on board.
I'm with you on that one. Pokemon Go did a lot of things very similarly to that with the gym takeovers and whatnot.
Sucked.
But yeah, the combat is not good in Pokemon Go. So yeah, I kind of have to agree with you on that. I like it.
I guess I'll jump in here. How would I want to? Gosh, what do you guys think of the ideas of mixing it up? Obviously, a Pokemon MMORPG, but honestly, I would take a. I know you didn't specify this, Phantom, but I would take like a Star Fox MMORPG. Like, give me like space battles, and like everybody's in an R-wing or something like that. And I think that could be kind of rad.
That would be pretty cool, actually.
I mean, they did. I'm sorry, I was in the chat. Did you read all 5 of the examples?
No, we're doing them. We're doing them one by one. Okay,
because I think that that he was just giving us suggestions, but we also throw our own ideas in there. I will say that one of his suggestions, a couple of suggestions I like. the Breath of the Wild Four Swords idea. I've been saying since I first started playing Breath of the Wild, especially since I first got the whole map open, having other people, like other players in the world, would really spice up that game quite a bit. And I could definitely see basically going out on raids in a Breath of the Wild style game. But
All right,
I already like the way the Breath of the Wild spiced up, the Zelda IP. So
since this is the way we're taking it, then let's just give out all of Phantom's ideas, and then we can comment on them all, I guess, in one go. A Pokemon MMORPG, Star Fox with classic space battles, but Mass Effect ground combat. Breath of the Wild Four Swords, Mario Football, Metroid Prime open world game. I love Pokemon MMORPG. Star Fox with classic space battles, but Mass Effect ground combat. We kind of already got something much less complicated than that, but similar to that.
I'm going to put a twist. I'm going to put a twist on that. Star Fox with classic space battles, but like Gears of War, Grand Theft Auto, like cover-based third-person shooter style ground combat.
That could be fun. Yeah, honestly, Star Fox Assault was pretty close to that for me, in that it gave us some semblance of ground combat. Obviously, it was like GameCube era, so it was a lot simpler. But yeah, I'm totally on board with that, as long as I still get to fly around in a spaceship. I love Star Fox. Breath of the Wild Four Swords, not really that interested. I'd rather just get like an MMO, honestly, if we're going to do Breath of the Wild. Mario Football, I don't like football. So any other Mario sport would be more welcome than that. Give me Mario curling. Give me Mario frickin' frisbee golf. Give me any Mario sport. Metroid Prime open world game. I don't like Metroid Prime. So I don't really want an open world game.
Nintendo hasn't touched hockey in like decades. Can we get a Mario hockey game?
Yeah, that's true. I will say though, in regards to the Metroid open world thing, if it's like a Breath of the Wild style Metroid game, that could actually be a lot of fun. My biggest problem with Metroid Prime is that I don't like how the 3D works with like the backtracking and the collecting items and that Metroidvania style of gameplay. If that's not a feature and I just get all my crap up front like I do in Breath of the Wild, I might enjoy a Metroid open world game more, because it's basically just sci-fi Breath of the Wild at that point. And that might be a lot of fun. Otherwise,
I could go for that.
Yeah, like if it's like Breath of the Wild, but I have to get items and backtrack and a lot of stuff is cut off at the beginning, that sounds really tedious and hellish, but I could be in for just some fun shooting Metroid-y stuff.
Yeah, and you just made me realize one of the things I didn't like about Metroid Prime was the backtracking. Metroid Prime seriously needed a warp function of some sort, where after you get your key item, you can warp back to the ship. So I realize that's kind of anti-Metroid, but at the same time,
what about a linear Metroid game?
The 3D.
We had that. We had two of those actually. It was called Metroid Other M and Metroid Fusion, and they were both great.
I love Fusion.
Great.
No, seriously, linear Metroid actually works really well, Steve.
Well, yeah, but I mean like a 3D one though, because we haven't had that yet.
Zero Mission is my favorite Metroid game, and that's pretty linear.
Well, kind of with Other M.
Again, we kind of did with Other M. Other M was pretty linear too. But no, I totally get where you're coming from. Like, linear works well with Metroid. As much as Metroid established like that backtrack and Metroidvania style gameplay, like I actually really like linear Metroids. I think they work well. It just is like a shooter game. So,
and I think there are too many other, especially indie developers, who have like taken that concept and run with it to the point where when Metroid does it, it's not novel anymore. I mean, it's still good. Yeah. I mean, Samus Returns is still good, but there are 100 other games like it now. Maybe Metroid does need to take a different path to differentiate.
So I've got it, guys. I know the crossover that's going to make everybody $1 million. So Nintendo, get fucking ready. Nintendo has the best, honestly, like out of anybody, the best wealth.
And our time is up.
Well, Hear me out here. They have like the best wealth of characters amongst basically anybody, right? Like first party or otherwise. So what came to mind all of a sudden was a game that is basically that, just a mashup of characters. Why don't we get like a Nintendo Dota type game where it's that type of game? What are those called? MOBAs. The MOBA type genre is pretty freaking popular, and like I think that would be really cool to like. Okay, Mario has this certain set of characteristics, whereas Samus has this certain set of characteristics, right? And then I think that could play very well.
Honestly, if you give me yeah, I've never played it either. I don't know if it's my genre of choice, but if you give me any game that isn't Smash Bros, where I can like put all my favorite Nintendo characters in and like mix and match a team up, and like, I'm sold. Like, yeah, like with or without amiibo, like I'm totally sold with that. Just put all the Nintendo characters in one game, and it could be a freaking walking simulator, and I'd buy it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not into MOBAs, but I know they're huge. Like we talked about League of Legends earlier in that commercial, but like for real, like games like League of Legends, games like League of Legends and Dota 2, they're amongst like the most popular games around, you know? So like imagine if Nintendo released a free-to-play MOBA with Nintendo characters and you had to like pay $1.50 to unlock Ganondorf or Tingle or whatever, you know, like I might pay $1.50 to unlock a lot of fucking characters if I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, Jay-Z brings up another good one too, Smash Warriors. I would play the shit out of that.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time. Like it's got to be a thing that's coming because like we've had Zelda, we've had Fire Emblem. Like it's time for the whole collection.
Well, and it could support every amiibo ever done because you know what I mean. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I want that game.
God, what would the story be for that?
Who cares?
Doesn't even matter, dude. Have you played a Dynasty Warriors?
Or Hyrule Warriors, for that matter.
I played Hyrule Warriors. That was pretty.
The heroes have arrived at like the evil villain, and then time stops, and now they have to kill him so time can start again. It's that simple and stupid.
Even Hyrule Warriors had portals and stuff, but you know. Yes, I want that game. Sorry, Jay-Z, I'm stealing your answer.
All right, guys. Well, we've made it to the end of the question block, and that actually takes us to the end of the show. We kind of ran along today, what with the roundtable discussion, but I think that's okay. We're going to table the change of system until next week, so be ready for that. But yeah, other than that, we are ready to get out of here. Thank you one and all for joining us. Thank you especially for our patrons. If you haven't heard before, you can join us too by going to patreon.com/Infendo Radio. And you can join us at any number of tiers. But the most important thing is that there is a giveaway this month, and you can win 3 boxed amiibos from the Kirby franchise, right, Lucas?
Actually, 2 of them are Kirby. One of them is a blue Yarn Yoshi.
Close enough. And then, yeah, they're all boxed. They're all pristine condition. We'll send them out to you if you're the winner. So do that if you would like to win that.
On that note, too, a much smaller giveaway that we're doing that ends this Friday at 6 Mountain Time, 8 Eastern Time, whenever Pacific Time.
You said no. I got my hopes up.
But yes, ending Friday evening after I get off work, we're giving away a $10 eShop card. All you have to do to participate is follow us on Twitter and retweet our tweet. We have like 100 and something people retweeting it right now. Thank you to everyone who's participating in that. One of you is going to win. And if you're listening to this, we have another one to give away like next week. So keep following us because we want to give you guys money. So that's the thing. So feel free to jump on our Twitter. We've been retweeting the crap out of that tweet. It should not be difficult to find.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome. All right. Well, we are going to get out of here. But before we do, where can we find you this week, Steve?
You can find me at Gentis1 on Twitter. You can find my doppelganger at Gentis4 on Twitter. And I've personally been working on bringing back the Nintendo Fever Twitter account to get it ready for when we get the website live and for when the Nintendo Fever podcast comes back. So if you see a lot more from Nintendo Fever, you can follow me there as well. And that's just at Nintendo Fever.
Awesome. Very nice. Justin, where can we find you this week?
You can find me on Twitter at InfendoJustin. My gaming info is there. I'm going to leave it at that because I've been lazy. So, I do have a review for a game on Infendo.com. So head there for all the latest news and reviews, but especially mine because I'm lazy and I don't write very much.
It's actually a good review too. I read that today before we got on there. Awesome. So Lucas, where can we find Hugh?
Oh God, every week it gets better. If you want to find me one place, go to hughadventure.com. That is my Patreon page. You don't have to be my patron. I also try to post little updates and snippets and stuff there. I got a lot of stuff to put on that Patreon page very shortly and will be posting very shortly. I've been working, I'm for those of you who don't know, I'm working on a game called Hugh Adventure in my spare time. I've been working on the 3rd level, just kind of getting some of the basic mechanics in place. It's going to have a lot to do with light and disappearing platforms and stuff like that. I'm trying to get some stuff out there so it's worthwhile for my patrons from last month. I'm also trying to work my butt off for next month, but I love you guys for supporting me. The tiny group of patrons I have is amazing. You're all fantastic people. That's probably the most important place you can find me. The only other place you could find me is on Infendo's YouTube, but I have been very bad about making Let's Plays since I got this new job. That will change at some point, but right now I'm just kind of focusing on other things. So that's a thing.
Guys, I just wanted to pause and let you guys know that we have officially reached 666 followers.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And the Dark
And also
Lord
not
can
nice.
begin his precious.
Screenshot.
And this is after that Labo conversation we had earlier. We're getting struck down when we leave our houses.
Oh, boy.
Don't worry, I'm setting up the Labo Catholic confessional as we speak.
Can we get a
I
Labo
might-
lightning rod?
I might have to talk to Peeve Steacock and get him to follow us just so we can bring that up to a nice anti-satanic 667.
Isn't Peeve already following us?
I don't think so. He's following each of us individually, but last I talked to him, he's not following the
He's a-
Infendo.
Shit.
He's a dick. I don't like that
Yeah,
guy.
he's the opposite of you. So he has a huge ass, you know?
All right, guys. You can find me on Twitter at Infendo Eugene. You can find everything that Infendo is doing at Infendo on Twitter. Don't forget to go to infendo.com where you can do a number of things and you should join our Discord. There's a couple of links there where you can join us directly. Make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube from there. You can also join us on Patreon by by visiting Infendo.com. So make sure to do that as well.
Heck, and you
That
can go to
said-
the merch shop.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, With that
We
said,
got a
you can
lot of
also-
places.
With that said, you can go to the merch shop designed by humans.com/shop/Infendo, but the easiest way to do it is going to Infendo.com and clicking on the merch shop link, and you can buy a cool looking mug or a hoodie or
I need a
whatever you
I need a
want.
shirt. It's getting hot.
I already
here in
have a
Utah.
cool looking mug.
I need to order myself a mug, actually. That's one thing I am lacking. But yeah, go to our merch shop as well, and you can, support us, throw us a few bucks that way, and then at the same time acquire some cool merch. All right, guys, but that's it. That's all we've got. We've made it to the end, and I was the winner of Nintendo's, so I'm really feeling good about that.
Bullshit. Where's my fireworks, Eugene?
All right, guys, until next week, we love you. We love you, and thank you. Goodbye.
Peace.
And we love you. Maybe you're a firework. Go on, show 'em what you're worth. Make 'em go, oh, oh, oh.
Well, that's so
as you
creepy when he's
shoot across
whispering
the
it.
Sky, sky, sky.
This week on Infendo ASM Radio.
All right, guys, I got to take off my phone
ASMR,
for an
whatever it
entirely
is.
different reason. See you guys later.
Right.
Oh, that was fun. Oh, anyway.
I gotta say, I
Phantom and
love having
Minus, you
this.
guys can unmute yourselves anytime now.
I love doing this on Wednesday, guys. Like,
Yeah.
it's so nice
I
to be
kinda
able to
do.
unwind. Like, my work week is more than half over, and then I get to do this and chill out with you guys, and then like the pre-weekend begins.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now everybody
It's-
click on Minus's face and let's see what he's working on.
I already did. How did you know? I always got that.
I see a blue Yoshi in the background.
I see a morpher on the table.
I was just gonna say, it looks like right now what he's working on is dinner.
I see a pretty cool dude in the chair.
Oh,
Dude, his headphones
Also-
light up. I want your
also
headphones. Mine
Phantom
don't
is
light
here.
up.
Oh, hi,
That's
Phantom.
important. That's an important feature.
All right, everybody, click on Phantom and see what he's all
All
about.
right, let's describe Phantom's house.
Let's look at
I
Phantom.
see a
Pretty much, yeah.
curtain in the
Look at those
background.
curtain patterns.
Some kind of beige.
He's wearing a shirt tonight.
We treat our patrons equally here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But more importantly, pants. He's got pants
Yeah.
on tonight.
We don't know that. We can't see that.
Okay, that's true.
The
That's
mystery.
true.
Phantom, can you confirm? Are you or are you not wearing pants?
I'd like you to remember that you're also live on YouTube right now.
I'm wearing shorts, so there you go.
Okay. Okay.
They're
That's
comfy and
fair.
easy to wear.
How
We
many
don't have
holes
shorts
do
weather in upstate
shorts
New York
have?
yet.
How many holes do shorts have, guys? Think about it.
That depends on how fat you are.
you.
If you take up the entire waist, then they only have 2. But that's 3.
What about the
Yeah.
crotch hole? Doesn't that make it 3?
Oh,
Well, if you want-
The,
If you
the
want-
crotch
yeah,
hole
yeah.
is a separate hole, regardless
Also,
of
is
how many
there-
holes shorts have.
Is there a butt flap?
well,
I
they're
don't wear shorts anymore.
Do shorts
those-
need a butt
For
flap?
those emergency situations.
Well, are we freeballing it here or what? Because I mean, if you're not, then the butt flap does no good.
Oh my
Are
god.
they? Do they have cargo pockets?
everybody say goodbye to the live feed. Bye, live feed. I'm sparing
sorry.
you with the rest of this discussion.